We start during a quiet night in the Ember Nations. The old wooden house is calm as the world settles in for the evening. Crackling fire gently illuminates an old woman with a hand-woven quilt draped over her, slowly rocking in her chair. Small eyes as wide as dinner plates watch her with anticipation. And that, children, is why you should always clean Vespid blood off your skin immediately, before it seeps in. Your grandfather told me that on our honeymoon in the Shattered Mesa. Bless his survival instincts. She smiles to herself. Grandma, how did you meet Grandpa? She leans her head back, smiles even more. Oh, well, it was a very long time ago, when I had just arrived in New Novos to start a new life. Times were tough. I had not but a few credits and the clothes on my back. I didn't know where to start, and I needed to pay my rent. So I just found a job, working as a bus driver. We cut to a rickety metal double-decker bus, kicking up dust as it hurtles down the dirt road. The heat of the sun glares down on the desert sand, the wind howling across the stone cliffs.
Don't look at my avatar, man.
I guess I grew up on the road,
a scrawny Novian man with blue skin and a dirty trucker's hat stands at the front of the bus, his hand clutching a small box with a long, spindly wire. His unbuttoned, insulated jacket is in the wind, revealing a grease-stained shirt underneath. As he speaks, he scratches his short, bristly beard with his other hand. His eyes flitter mechanically, and then you notice he has ocular implants. He holds the box up to his mouth and says, Alright folks, we'll be reaching Dust Bucket Road in just a few minutes now, so load up your 6-shooters and get comfortable. Hit the gas, Louise. Yeehaw! You hear a woman's voice from below you yell out, Shut up, Eddie! That damn thing can't go no faster and you know it! This is the bus driver who you saw upon entering the bus at the New Novos station. He looks out to each of you with a smile and says, Alright folks, let the tour begin. And let's go ahead and introduce our characters. Anything that one might notice right away. Matt, we'll start with you.
Okay. Sure. I'm probably sitting like near the back of the bus. I'm a short, stocky Camian, and I've got my like 6 arms kind of leaned up over various crevices of this seat that I'm kind of purposely trying to take up in a fashion so no one can sit next to me. And I haven't really said anything to anybody. I've got a brindle coat.
All right. Weston?
You'll see a middle-aged guy in a skin-tight, black and grayish battle suit, brown mullet, and bandana above his right above his forehead, touching his hairline, and he's just
playing his mane,
shiftily watching everybody in the bus. Looks like he hasn't shaved in a couple days.
A little paranoid.
A little intimidating.
I like it.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
You can elaborate everything from all the references and everything to his name. You'll see. You guys say.
Oh yeah, I guess I can. So if I do show to players on the character sheet, it'll only do the picture, right?
With character sheets, I think you have to edit and then throw them in everyone's journals. And it won't show them the character sheets, but it'll show them their like bio and info.
Okay. I think they're in everybody's journals. So I think if I click show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Sticky wicket.
Sticky wicket.
Although we don't know that yet. Okay, guys, get that out of your brain.
Get that out your brain.
Get that out your brain. Okay.
Get your good old brain bleach going.
And
Nick will be
here's our.
romantically sees this.
My God, I fucking hate you.
I've made an executive decision that it's okay to smoke a little bit more of this bowl.
Oh my God.
Did you share it? It didn't share for me.
It's fucking on there.
Okay.
It's not showing because you're already looking at your character sheet. For something.
Yeah, I think it won't show it to you necessarily.
Dun 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 dun.
As per usual, I don't understand the reference.
James up next.
It's a double reference because of his name too.
It's a double.
I don't get either one of those references. That's funny.
It's Weston's Tumblr fan casting if the movie had been made in the 80s.
That's who he's based on. That's where the name comes from.
James up next.
Yes.
All right. So you'll see someone probably not sitting too, and he's got his like kind of long finger, like pyramid in his hands, and he's kind of like looking around at everybody, like focusing on one person at a time, You know, not super like, you know, squinting his eyes or nothing, but definitely studying everybody in turn. He's got like palish skin. His I don't want to call them antennae, but antennae and hair are sleeked back and they are white, like white. His hair is at least clean shaven. Like I said, very like long features, like his very long face for Leonti. Wearing wearing like a bandana around his neck. Looks like you could pull it up in front of his face. And then his jacket, pants, everything are rather nice, and they're kind of light colored, and they're cut off the sleeves on both of the jackets and everything. So he is trying to think of like a good character comparison, but he kind of looks like he's cool for school, and he's like studying everybody in turn.
All right. Nicholas?
That's rough.
Yeah, you'll see a guy wearing all black gear with like some gold trim around the collar and like a gun belt. Smoking a cigar, flipping a coin every now and then, and just kind of like relaxed out and just surveying the rest of the people on the bus.
All right, Chris.
You guys would see a probably about 7 foot tall DeKelm. He's sitting towards the front. You'd all probably know his name is Sigvik, as he introduced himself to Edward when Edward came on. Looks pretty excited to be here, and is dressed like exceptionally well. Definitely doesn't fit in with everything else in the area.
Sounds good. Ian?
Asshole.
So I was like describing it in my head, and I was like, and then I saw like fucking westerns. I was like, oh, perfect. So you see this just massive guy with somewhat dark skin, and like just the gingerest hair you've ever seen. That just like is not very. It's like 2-3 inches long, but it just stands straight up at weird angles. Like it refuses to ever do anything other than that. And, yeah, he just looks fucking miserable. Has not said a word to anyone.
Miserable is accurate.
As Ian wraps up these character introductions, Shane, I want to give you an inspiration for that opening. I don't even care.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's yours.
That's pretty brilliant.
Definitely.
Definitely use that.
Uh-oh.
I'm good. All right.
What just happened, brother?
You know, a subwoofer falls, and so does your dice vortex
Okay.
that spills dice everywhere. All right.
That sounds about right.
The good thing is nothing broke except for the dice holder, but that's okay because it was made out of just hard plastic. Holy shit!
But it was looking D12.
I'm good.
So what'd you roll?
A fuck ton,
45,000.
probably in the upper thousands. I don't know, or like the low thousands. Anyways, continue.
Sure, no problem. I hope everything works out well.
He actually okay, I figured it out. He actually kind of looks like he used to have a bomber jacket. It looks like a bomber jacket, and like what you'd see like an old RAF. I mean, most of you won't mind what like an old RAF pilot used to look like from like the wars. Like he has like the kind of baggy pants that end at the knees, and like
the old dude from the end of the first Mummy movie.
He's Psionic Top Gun.
Fucking plane.
Yeah, Psionic Top Gun, exactly.
So the 6 of you are in the upper section of the bus. That's where the tour is being held. There are some storage spaces in the bottom half of the bus for your whatever stuff you might have. You know that this tour is not like super crazy long, so you might not.
How long is it?
Stuff. It's probably like a couple hours.
Okay.
And
yeah, there's also a massive like Warhammer just like chilling in the seat next to me.
The 6 of you are also not alone. There are other passengers here as well. Seated fairly close to Eddie up front is a Leonti couple, a younger Leonti couple. One male, one female. They seem to be pretty nicely dressed. You would know based on overhearing bits of their conversation as they got onto the bus that these two seem to be together and are on a date of some sort.
They're fucked.
Seated towards the middle of the seats, off to one side, particularly leaning over the edge, is another middle-aged guy who is very strange looking. He has some kind of weird suit on that makes you think he might be like a researcher or a technician of some kind. He has a pack, a very large pack with him that seems to have a lot of little jars and books and little tools and things kind of on his person. And he does have kind of like a visor thing that it's less like it is in the picture, but it's more like they're kind of more like goggles that sort of extend out. There is also so there's these three. There's the bus driver. There is Eddie himself, and then there's a figure who's actually somewhat comfortably laying down in the back corner of the bus. He is dressed like what you guys as a player would know as a cowboy. He has a very nice looking white like jacket and pants, all with way too many belts and a lot of gold accents. And he has his feet crossed and propped up on the seat in front of him. and his arms are folded behind his head, and his hat is tilted down so that you cannot see his face. But based on the little bit of, not skin, but the little bit of skin that would be showing, you can tell that he is an emetic. But he was actually on the bus before any of you got on, and he has not seemed to wake up since. The bus starts heading down this dusty road. For a few minutes, Eddie is kind of looking at all of you, smiling, and sort of looking out at the road ahead of him. And he seems to be preparing a few things, kind of on the seat closest to him. Nothing in particular. He seems to just be going through a bag and sort of getting some effects in order. Would any of your characters like to do anything as they begin this tour?
The DeKelm, Chris character, looks considerably out of place. Like, he looks like more affluent than everybody else here.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna sidle on up to him.
There are enough seats on this bus, just so you guys know, that each of you could have your own seat, and there's probably still extras. Based on the size of this bus and the number of seats, you would assume that this bus is probably at like half capacity.
Who are you hitting, Ian? Dang.
I just want to make sure that I templated it right and everything.
Well,
okay.
Not
missed
that serious.
regardless.
I was just sitting next to a man. Damn.
I just smashed the window. Well, I don't, because it was a crit fail.
Hello there. Pleasure to meet you. My name's Castor LaRue.
Well, hi. I'm Sigvig. How are you?
Sigvig. Oh, he'll extend his hand for a handshake.
Yeah, I'll reach out and shake your hand.
So, what brings you to the rough and tumble Ember Nations?
Oh, just seeing the sights. It's exciting to get out of town every once in a while.
A strange thing. Well, I hope you enjoy the ride. I've heard it's pretty bumpy.
Well, that should be exciting, shouldn't it?
I suppose so. You meeting up with any friends, or just traveling alone?
Oh no, I'm just here by myself right now. Maybe make some new friends,
Well, I'm a pretty good friend to have.
Roz visibly rolls his eyes.
Oh, would you want
That
to
overhearing
sit up
this.
front here with me? We can take in the sights together.
Absolutely. I just want to size him up and assess how wealthy this individual is, if I could.
Also, Rydell is keyed in on this conversation and rolled insight on Castor and got a 23.
Holy
To see
shit!
what he's about. One thing at a time, though.
Yeah. So is there a check that I can make to see where he stands financially? I guess.
Can we see his credit report?
I guess go ahead and make an investigation check as you kind of look over him.
Ooh, I'm super good at these.
Can you make a computer's check to actually run a credit check on him?
That seems convoluted.
Yeah. So you, as you're talking to Sigvik, you kind of give him the all up and down, and I mean, Chris, you can explain what your character might be wearing that might tip him off, if anything.
Yeah, he is wearing what looks like very fine clothes, like very finely made, and you could probably see little pokes of armor sticking out from under the upper layers of clothes, which definitely looks more ornamental than functional.
Mm.
So it definitely does look more well-to-do than your average person would.
All right.
He's probably roughly on par with the Leonti couple. They seem to be a little bit more well off than, especially almost everyone you've seen in the Ember Nations. The three of them definitely stick out as most of the people that you've encountered, especially in New Novos. There are rich parts of town, or richer parts of town, but a lot of the people there and all throughout the Ember Nations kind of they're sort of more about efficiency and affordability rather than luxury.
Yeah.
So these three would stand out for sure.
All right. Yeah. I'll relax next to my new friend.
Rydell, with your check, so you were just trying to size up Castor, right?
Yeah, as he was talking to see if he was like really wanted to be friends, like if he was just a friendly guy, or if he had like more sinister case in him, or whatever, you know.
Nick, what do you think he would pick up?
With a 23? Jesus
pretty
Christ.
good.
Yeah, no, it's pretty obvious that he's checking a mark is what he's doing. Yeah, no, it's pretty much all of a sudden. It definitely it would appear to you that that Castor is seeing how rich this dude is.
Okay. I will look at Sigvik and psionically tell him, you should keep a good eye on your credit chips.
Sigvik is just going to start looking around the bus.
My face, I'm already turned to somewhere else. Or I was trying to be, at least.
Yeah, so you're not sure where this voice in your head came from.
Something got you spooked, friend.
Did you say something?
Not at all.
It was officially my favorite race in space opera, BT dubs.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Anyways.
I thought somebody just spoke to me. Weird.
You sure you're glad to be in the Ember Nations?
Oh, this never happened before that I've had voices in my head.
Huh. Right.
I'm probably just hearing things.
You all hear very loud static and buzzing as Eddie seems to fumble with his radio a little bit, and he clears his voice, and he looks out at all of you, and he gestures his free hand off to your left, and with a clear voice he says, all right, folks. Now, if y'all will turn to the left here, you'll see our first landmark, Crystal Eye Rock. And you see a rock formation that seems to be kind of by itself amongst this barren, desert-like environment. It's a few hundred feet off the road. From a distance, it kind of just looks like a rock, like a big rock sort of balancing on top of a small plateau. But as it gets closer, you do see that it kind of resembles a humanoid head in a way. And he says,
What was it? What was it called?
It's called Crystal Eye Rock.
Got it.
He says, now, this here rock formation has been here for a very, very long time, but it wasn't found until about 100 years ago. And he reaches down onto the seat next to him, and he pulls out a cube that's about a foot in all dimensions. Some kind of mechanical cube. It looks like it has a hatch and several buttons on the top. And he says, now, I got something special for you folks. We got here our handy-dandy, he starts turning it over in his hands, our handy-dandy prize portal thingamajig here to give out some goodies. just raise your hand or hand like appendage if you think you know the answer. Now, who can tell me how Crystal Eye Rock got its name? Anybody? This is something that you could make a history check on to see if you recall.
I would like to make a history check.
Make a history check.
Yeah.
Fucking nerds.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Hey!
Buddies.
yeah. So, what's your name? Pliskin? Pronouncing that right? So the three of you shoot your hands up upon remembering this little bit of trivia, and Eddie kind of looks out at everyone and he points at Pliskin and he says, "You there with the bandana?"
How did it happen?
You recall an urban legend that you probably heard in passing in New Novos about a man named Crystal Eye Clyde who found this rock and carved it in his own image.
Just gruffly, Crystal Eye Clyde.
Eddie claps his hands and he points at you again and he says, "Good answer. Though I can't honestly say for sure if that's totally right, but here's a prize for remembering." And Weston, go ahead and roll a d10 for me as Eddie pushes a button on a mechanical cube and the hatch opens and an object spills out. So what looks like a stim pack shoots out of the hatch, and Eddie catches it in the air, and he walks over to you, and as he does, on the radio, he says, "Now, to clarify, folks, local legend does state that a man named Clyde Bennigan came by, took a good look at this here rock, and, well, one of them was left changed for good. However, no one knows for sure whether he changed the rock to match his face, or he changed his face to match the rock. But either way, rock's all that's left. Rumor said," and he'll actually hand the stim pack to you, and you would recognize this as a Rad Shield stim pack, which, when injected, will give you resistance to radiation damage for an hour.
Nice.
And he says, as he walks back, he turns suddenly with his hands up, as if he's telling a ghost story, and he says, "Rumor says the eyes glow bright blue in the darkest of night, because old Crystal Eye Clyde left some magical gems inside that there rock formation. Or could be the radiation. Who's to say? Now, on we go." And he slaps the railing on the side of the bus, and Luis picks up speed as you progress on down this road with Crystal Eye Rock getting smaller and smaller behind you. And about 10 or 15 minutes later, it's a pretty quiet trip. Nothing really to look at besides the desert. Eddie sings a little bit here and there to keep people interested, but his singing is god-awful. Those of you looking ahead will see a railway track coming up ahead that runs perpendicular to the road. And the bus slows to a stop just in front of it. There's a small mechanical box next to the tracks that has a red and a green light, and it is currently flickering green. And Eddie kind of gestures in front of the bus and says, "Now, folks, I'm sure many of you came here by ship, so you did not get to experience the luxury of riding the Novos Express, the finest analog train in all the Ember nations. Fun fact, she was built over 200 years ago and continues to chug along with minimal repairs. except for the time that they replaced the engine and the cars and the tracks too. But anyway, who can tell me where the next station is? Going that way. And he points in the opposite direction of New Novos, going down the track. This is also a history check type of situation.
Damn.
Yeah, Castor. He looks in your direction and he says, "You with the hat." And you kind of think in your mind for a second, and you remember as you were looking at maps in New Novos, you remember that there was a city called Devil's Tail, about 180 miles away.
That'd be Devil's Tail. My daddy used to work there.
He nods his head and he says, "My condolences." And he hits a button on the cube, and go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
Alright. It's a 2.
Yeah. Out pops what looks like a first aid box, and he will grab onto it as it shoots into the air, and he will walk over and hand it to you, and you would know that this is a greater med kit.
Alright.
Hot dog.
And he says,
Let's kill him and take the cube.
You could try. He says, he walks back and he rests his arm on the seat, and he says, "That's right, folks. Devil's Tail, place where dreams come true and credit accounts are emptied. Never been there myself, but my brother Cole saved up for years. Took a weekend there. Stayed for a month trying to repay the debt he made, of course. But he did find a nice girl who treated him quite well. Till she stabbed him in his sleep and took all his stuff. But hey, she left his prize hand cannon at least, so they had that going for him. Until it got stolen when he got mugged in a back alley. But hey, he did find a lotto ticket there. And you know what he did? My boy Cole won big. He won a brand spanking new Mark II Exodus hover car. The finest that is offered. But unfortunately he did lose it in a game of cards the next day. But long story short, Devil's Tail's a land of opportunity. Take it from Cole. But please, not literally. The man's lost everything." And he solemnly looks ahead as there are a couple violent shakes as the bus goes over the tracks and
Should have been better.
presses on down the road.
Should have been better at cards.
Because they'd be terrible at it.
I beg to differ.
I don't know.
You know that like one of the most popular forms of stand-up is self-deprecation, right?
That is
I'm good
true.
at that.
I mean, yeah. Well, Burnham.
I'm very good at that.
And a variety of other comedians.
So the bus continues on for about another half hour. Is there anything your characters would like to do during this time?
Right after
Just go.
Castor answered the question, I would turn to him. Hey, that was really good.
Thank you.
How'd you learn so much?
Well, it's my first time to the Ember Nations, but I grew up on Emeritus. My mama and daddy, they grew up in the Ember Nations, so I figured I'd take a look to see where the family tree grew up.
Oh, that sounds like a good journey. Is it going good so far?
Journey to the dance. Haven't met with any trouble.
Well, that's excellent.
The
Viciously looking everyone up and down.
Leonti couple.
Periodically, oh sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Periodically, Raz is just like pulling out a flask and taking fat drag from it.
The Leonti couple, seated towards the front of the bus, has just been kind of holding hands and hugging, like people do, I guess. And
I don't know what human people do.
True. They seem to be having a very good time. During the little trivia questions, they kind of raise their hands, but they're a little bit too late. But they don't seem to really mind. The sleeping cowboy towards the back has still not stirred, despite all the talking and commotion. The older guy in mail has been pulling up various tools, getting different kinds of readings and things off of them, and at one point you look over and you see that there is a small little like firefly type bug landed on the edge of the seat in front of him, and he very carefully smacks it into a jar and kind of screws on the lid and looks at it with a kind of a creepy look, honestly.
Wait, who?
The older guy in mail in the weird like lab suit looking thing.
Okay.
He seems to be taking weird readings and using all these different little tools. He seems to be very interested in the environment more so than the
history.
More so than Eddie's little history hour. So after about another half hour or so, you start to see that coming up ahead, it looks like the road goes through a series of like cliffs and plateaus that all have kind of like the sedimentary lines, and some of the rock formations are really quite tall, but a lot of them are probably no more than 2 or 3 stories. It's kind of like a red stone. As you're watching these cliffs approach, Eddie gets back on the radio and he says, "And here, folks, we find ourselves in the Acronax Cliffs. Now, none too many folks come out this far on account of the giant ant colonies that live deep within the cliffs. But don't you fret. This tour stays a Cragbeak's tail away from them, so there's no need to worry. However, in the event that we do get some varmints trying to give us hell, old Eddie's gone and provided 6 shooters for you underneath your seats. Now, please refrain from using them unless absolutely necessary, and if all goes according to plan, shouldn't need to touch them." And anyone who reaches under their seat would feel there's a small pocket with what feels like a revolver in it.
I immediately pull it out and start just fiddling with it.
Sure. You notice that it has 6 bullets loaded in the cylinder, and that seems to be all the ammo that is there.
Sure.
But it seems to be it's definitely not like a fine piece of craftsmanship by any means. This is like in Borderlands when you find a common pistol and it's kind of crappy, so you just sell it later. It's kind of like that.
What are its stats?
It's a hand cannon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
The barrels on these things are a little bit wider than you would expect on a revolver.
A little bigger or smaller?
I'll pick it up.
The barrels are a little bit bigger.
I'll pick it up and dust it off and take them.
Sure. Yeah, it looks about the same to you. It's got 6 shots loaded in it. It doesn't seem like it's great, but maybe it'll fire. Who knows?
I'm taking note of everyone that picked a.
I put mine in my coat pocket.
Yeah, I'm just watching everyone.
I'm like leaning on a Doom style double barrel shotgun. So
which end is up?
Mm-hmm.
Which end are you? Is your arm on?
Oh, his arm's on the barrel. Oh.
The hand on.
Boo!
He's actually resting his head on the edge of the barrel, just kind of casually.
and I've pretty much just been silently and endlessly like eating snacks like this entire time. So.
Oh, we all put a bit of ourselves into our characters, but
exactly.
I mean, look at
yeah, true.
That big?
No, I've just been eating this whole time. So
yeah, he has.
Nothing wrong with that.
Eddie sees Eddie sees a couple of you look at the pistols and do what you do with them. The Leonti couple seems to look at theirs, but they both kind of look at each other like they don't need this or care, so they both put them back under the seats. The old Gaian man does not seem to even care or have heard at all that there is a gun under his seat.
How far away is the Leonti couple?
They're up in the front, kind of by Eddie. The bus is only bus is maybe 30 feet long.
Okay.
And like I said, there's more than enough room for all the people that are on here, so there's definitely empty seats.
Yeah.
I would pull the one out from the seat next to me, and empty out the bullets and pocket them.
Sure. Yeah. Eddie does not seem to notice you doing that. He seems very pleased with himself that he has provided guns for these random people that he doesn't know.
That's how you do it, man.
Doing the same thing, actually. So
It's called business acumen.
It's true. So Eddie kind of beams at all of you, and he says, "All right, folks. Now that you've taken stock of the firearms that I have provided you, how about another little history trivia question? Now, who can tell me how these cliffs got their name?"
Did he say the name?
He called them the Acronax Cliffs.
I got a 19.
19.
I'm sorry, an 18. 18.
Okay. Yeah, so the four of you shoot up your hands, and Eddie kind of looks around and he points at Rydell, and he says, "You, the nice looking fellow over there." And you would know that you recall seeing probably a pamphlet somewhere in New Novos that Acronax is the name of a giant ant queen that calls these cliffs her home.
Okay. I would say, well, there is the queen of the colony in those cliffs. Happen to be of the same. But I also heard that this area may be some place for adrenaline junkies to jump off and see how they do off these cliffs. You know, those that like to fly or use magic to keep themselves aloft. Is that true?
He kind of slowly nods his head, and he says, "I cannot confirm or deny whether or not people jump off these cliffs. However, Louise and I have had to move some humanoid bodies off of the once or twice. The circumstances of which I do not know."
Yeah, those are probably the failed ones. Sounds dangerous though, right? And you get this huge grin on his face. So he's got this huge grin on his face, and he kind of looks around the bus, and you haven't seen him show any emotion this entire time. And then he's like, "Yeah, let's go there."
Yeah, he smiles at you, and he says, "This one's got a little bit of zest in him. That's what we like to see here on Eyeless Eddie's roadside tours." And he will slap the button on the cube and roll a d10 for me.
6.
6. Yeah, what looks like a mason jar full of kind of a copperish, kind of yellowish liquid shoots out of the hatch, and he kind of grabs it, and he looks like he treats this one with a little bit more care. And he'll walk it over to you, and he'll say, it doesn't have any labels or anything on it, but he'll hand it to you with two hands, and he says, "Looks like you done got yourself a glass of giant ant juice.
Yeah, there it is.
Let's handle that one with care," and he'll give you a wink.
I'm gonna incite him.
Oh man.
Only
As far as you know, this is a bottle of giant ant juice.
what did that shit do?
Giant ant juice is made from the blood of the giant ants that plague the wastes of the Ember Nations. With a bitter flavor and a spicy aftertaste, this potion grants you proficiency in strength and constitution saving throws for 1 hour.
I would say, this is an appropriate gift. Thank you.
He's going to say, consider it a Novian hello.
Let's say, we'll put it to good use, hopefully. A big, like, crazy smile on his face.
He, still smiling, he kind of, like, starts walking away from you, and he looks back, and he says, I sure hope not. And he walks back to the front of the bus. And he says,
I'll kind of, like, look at it, and then, like, I'll, like, put it down, or, like, in the pack next to me, and then I'll go back to, like, hands, like, fingers steepled with, like, no emotion.
he says, now this one is right. Now legend says that Queen Acronax feeds on her victim's limbs before she injects the venom, which is actually quite different than normal giant ant behavior. No one really knows why she does this, but some say that she was once a Gaian queen who was transformed by a powerful and vengeful sorcerer. Other folks just say she's an asshole. And he turns back to the road. And
I was gonna
The
turn
bus-
to Sigvik.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's like, I don't see why she can't be both.
the bus turns around the corner of a cliff and starts to slow down, not to a stop, but to a moderate pace, as a very ramshackle-looking house comes into view. Seems to be nestled between a couple different cliffs. The corrugated metal walls are covered in rust. A weather vane squeaks back and forth, barely standing on the roof. A garden with nothing but cabbages sits under a rickety sheet roof. And Eddie puts his free hand on his hip with the radio in his other hand, and he says, now this lovely abode here is home to my good friend Crazy Earl. Some bitch drove his house out here after his wife passed away. You shall rest her soul. Poor guy just wanted to get away from it all. But at least he's got me and Louise and all you nice folks to keep up his spirits. And then you hear a loud gunshot echo off the cliff sides as a bullet whizzes just past his head. And Eddie kind of looks flustered for a second, and he smiles, the biggest grin you've seen, and he says, "And there he is now! Hey, Earl! Hey!" And he starts waving. And as you turn to look at the ramshackle house, you see a lanky old man standing on his porch holding a very long double-barreled shotgun. And he's far enough away that you can't tell what he's saying, but you can tell as he trains his rifle, or as he trains his shotgun, Eddie calls out, "Good to see you too, Earl. Bring you some root beer next time through." And there's another gunshot. This time, Eddie ducks. Then he peeks over the edge of the bus towards the house, and you see that the old man has kind of waved his hand in frustration and gone back through his front door. And Eddie takes off his hat and runs his hands through his hair, puts it back on, and he looks at all of you and he says, he gets better and better aim every time. As the bus continues to tread through the cliffs and turns around another corner, and then all of a sudden slows to a stop. And Eddie leans over the front railing, looking down, and he says, "Louise, why'd you stop?" And you hear a loud swear from below. And you hear Louise say, "Road's blocked. Seems like a rock slide. Gotta find another way." And Eddie kind of stands up and he puts his hands on his hips and he looks, "Shoot, ain't that a kick in the pants?" Turns back around and says, "Well, folks, looks like we gotta make a little detour here. Don't you worry, Louise will have us out of here and on our way in a jiffy." And there are a few moments where the bus is not moving as Eddie kind of goes through some of his things. And he seems to put something away in his bag, and he kind of looks up at all of you, sort of as if he's trying to like kind of keep things going a little bit despite this obstacle, and he says, "Well, how about this, folks? In the meantime, let's do another question. Yeah, who knows how the Tesla cannon was invented?"
Somebody really wanted to kill somebody else, I would imagine.
He says he looks at Rex and he says, "Not quite, but it's good that you know that, because that is how most guns are made here in the Ember Nations, at least."
Sits well with me.
Yeah, Pliskin. He looks to you again, and he says, "Tell me, sir." And you would think back to a conversation that you once had with someone in a bar about a Tesla cannon, actually. And this person told you a story of how a well-known firearms manufacturer had a researcher who accidentally placed a light rail train battery inside of a railgun, and it fired enough volts to completely disintegrate the opposite wall.
So just someone put a light trail battery in a railgun.
Eddie nods his head and he says, "Hell yeah, they did. My old lady had one of those. She used it to threaten tax collectors." And go ahead and roll a d10 for me.
It's a good use.
Raz chuckles very, very minusculely.
Okay. Yeah, a tall, kind of thin glass bottle shoots out of the hatch, and Eddie grabs it, and he walks over and he hands it to you, and you see that the label says Horace Flynn's Miracle Elixir, with several like retro style like shooting stars over it. And you would know that this cure-all, end-all, be-all potion fixes hair loss, hangnails, foot cramps, stomach pain, headaches, and sometimes even gangrene. That's what his sign says anyway.
Genuine snake oil.
Purges one condition or disease, but may have some side effects.
Exactly, snake oil.
May have some side effects.
Hey, snake oil
What
works
about-
at being
What
snake
about
oil.
what about donkey hemorrhoids?
I mean,
Sorry,
if you ask
burrow
Horace
hemorrhoids.
Flynn, he will probably tell you that yes, it does.
So would John Buscemi.
True. He rubs his hands together and he says, "All right,
Steve
folks.
Buscemi, what the fuck?
He says, all right, folks. How about one more? Let's see. Who knows what year the Drystone Council signed the Treaty of Allegiance with the Camian Warlords?" Kind of smiling at each of you.
Can't say I know much about that.
He points over to Pliskin again, and he says, "No, you got the last one. I know you know the answer. I can see it in your eyes." Then he points at Sigvik, and he points at Sigvik, and he says, "What do you think?" And you are not sure. You are not sure when. You've never heard of something called the Treaty of, and you don't know why there would be Camian warlords anywhere in the Ember Nation.
I would throw out just an arbitrary guess then. It's like
Sure.
sometime in the last century.
Yeah, he laughs and he slaps his knee and he says, "I got you with that one. I made that one up. Drystone would never sign a treaty with anyone. But here's a prize anyway for trying." And roll a d10. Okay. He presses the button, and the hatch opens, and nothing comes out. And he says, "Damn thing never seems to work." And he hits it with his fist a couple times, and another med kit shoots out, and he grabs it and he says, there we go. And he walks over and he hands it to you, and you would know this is a lesser med kit.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And he kind of sits there rubbing his hands, kind of looking nervously up ahead. And you guys would notice that the bus has been driving through these cliffs, getting into sort of the deeper parts where some of the rock formations are actually going fairly high above you. And go ahead and make a round of perception checks. Nice. Anyone who got a 15 or higher would sort of look off into the distant parts of the cliffs and see that there are some random little dark alcoves in the cliffs, and there are some creatures that seem to be skittering between them. They're probably about maybe.
What was that? You cut out just right as you said the number.
These creatures in the alcoves seem to be about 400 feet away. Eddie kind of looks off in that direction. He's still kind of like wringing his hands together somewhat nervously, sort of looking out for where the bus is headed. You guys would also notice that you are very definitely not on Dusty Road anymore. There was a road that kind of went through the cliffs, and you guys have left it as Luis seemingly found a rock slide in the blocking the way up ahead.
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over to the Leonti couple and lean down like from the chair behind them and between them and say, "You two folks seem rather nice, so you should probably pick up those pistols from underneath your seats. Because if I were a gambler, man, and I'm not, I would say that we might be in for some trouble."
The two of them look at you wide-eyed, and then they look at each other, and they look back at you, and the male Leonti says, "Well, I can't say I've ever used a gun like this before, but I really, really hope we don't need it." And the woman kind of she seems to be a little bit nervous.
"Well, if I had a little lady as pretty as yours, I'd get good real quick."
She kind of shies away as she blushes, and the male Leonti kind of smirks at you, and he says, "We'll do what we can, but we were hoping for a nice drive through the wilderness, I suppose. We found this tour pretty cheap, and we figured it was a good option, but..." And he kind of looks at her and he says, "Well, now I'm not sure."
As I get up to leave, I'll tip my hat and say, "Well, the cheaper the ride, the more dangerous it can be. Be safe." Down next to Sigvik.
As he walks away, I'll like getting close to them. "If you aren't prone to violence, you're under my protection."
You say that to the couple?
Fucking creepy.
Yeah.
They both look up at you, and then they kind of huddle together a little bit as they both shift towards the edge of the seat, towards the railing a little bit. And they both, he reaches down and he grabs both of the pistols and he starts checking the chambers, sort of.
I didn't look at them as I said that. I just leaned in as I'm looking around.
Yeah, and the two of them are kind of like like they sort of looking back and forth between these two revolvers and the passengers, who it seems like they have just now actually started to notice. The old man towards the middle of the seats. He's pulled out binoculars and seems to be looking out towards the creatures on the cliffs. And anyone who's seated somewhat close to him just kind of hears him mutter things like "fascinating" or "how interesting." And as this is happening, the bus starts to slow down a little bit more, and Eddie once again looks over the front of the bus, and he calls down to Louise and asks her what's up, and she says something that you can't quite hear, and then Eddie kind of leans over the edge for a second, and then he stands up and he looks back at everybody, and he without holding the radio up to his mouth, he kind of steps a little bit closer to you guys than he was earlier. He says, "All right, folks, got some news for you. Looks like we're driving through some giant ant territory. Now, don't you worry. We just gotta stay real quiet now, or those things will tear us up like a grown boy with a buck of Firebird wings. You know how it goes." And he goes to his pack, and he pulls out a similar revolver to the one you guys have, but with a bigger cylinder, and he kind of shakily starts loading bullets into it. And the road starts to get a little bumpier, and you can see that the creatures skittering on the cliffs are a little bit closer now, kind of crawling out of these alcoves and into other ones. And as the bus has been going through these cliffs, you've started to smell kind of an acrid, sulfury smell, and it seems to be much stronger.
Rydell is probably, if he was on the opposite side of the bus, he's like run over frantically the other side of the bus and like glued his face to the window to try.
There's no windows on the portion.
Well,
It's kind of just like a higher railing that kind of keeps you from going over. But
okay,
it's
well, I am like
totally open on the top.
Yeah, I'm totally like hanging off the edge, like looking for him, like almost.
Yeah, you can't be too sure, but you feel like one of the little creatures has stopped and turned its head towards you. Still a couple 100 feet away, but you think for a second maybe that happened, but you're not totally sure.
All right.
Anybody else like to do anything as the bus is going at a very slow pace? The cliff sides are actually also closer to where the bus is driving through now, whereas previously while you were on the road, there was actually quite a bit of space.
I'm just gonna tip my hat down and try and relax while we travel through such dangerous territory.
I would like a elbow caster next to me. It's getting rather exciting, isn't it? It's kind of like the simulation, huh?
Just like the simulation.
There's the barest hint of a grin on Raz's face. Sorry.
I can't imagine you've experienced such things before.
Oh no, not in person.
Well, it should be interesting.
I'm gonna get up and start pacing, looking through each window, up, back and forth like twice, just to survey the surroundings.
Sure. As all of you are sort of doing your own thing, kind of watching Eddie shakily load the last few bullets into his gun. There's a few moments of particular quiet as the wind seems to die down a little bit. And then all of a sudden there's a loud bang, and the bus shakes and limps to one side. Okay, you're good, Ian. We're about to take a break anyway, so you're fine. Eddie perks up, and he sort of looks around with a horrified look on his face. And once again, he leans over the edge at the front of the bus, and he says something to Louise, and Louise says, you hear Louise's voice call out, "Oh hell! They done ate the tire! They're all around us!" And Eddie turns back and he clicks back the hammer on his revolver and he says, "All right, folks, time to grab those 6-shooters and put your trigger fingers to the test. Lay low and try not to waste too many bullets. This is all we got." And you guys would hear Louise leaning out of her window on the bottom part of the bus, and she says, "I gotta get out of there and fix that tire. I'm gonna need some people down here to keep." Eddie looks around at everybody as he clicks the last part of the hammer back, and he says, "Any takers?"
Well, what did she say exactly?
She said that she needs to go out there and fix the tire, and she needs people to keep them off of.
Gotcha.
Plus he'll stand up and take his large rifle off his back. Anything to keep everyone safe.
Sigvik will stand up. He'll say, "Yep, exactly like the simulations," and he'll pull out his energon blade.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take our break there.
Nice.
As you guys look towards the edge of the bus and you see burrowing through the sand and crackled dirt, these giant ant heads start protruding from the ground.
Oh shit.
When the joke from the equipment list becomes the session.
Eddie's piece is going to represent Eddie, the two Leon team, and the old man and the cowboy. They're all going to go at the same time, in addition to Louise. But Louise is back here fixing the tire.
Do you have a battle map?
Are we supposed to be seeing a map? Are we supposed to be seeing a map?
Yeah, I don't see a map.
It would help if I put a thing on. Alright, can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is where Eddie is. He's just going to represent all of them. And then Louise is back here fixing a tire.
Well, when Louise said that she was going to need people to keep them off of her below, where is she?
Mm-hmm. She is towards the back over here by this ant.
Okay.
I put her piece down.
I pull my double barrel out in one hand, and I cinch my cestises across my 6 hands, and I just jump off the top of the bus.
Sure. Yeah, it's not tall enough that you would hurt yourself doing so.
And like land down here to try to protect her back, I guess. To the rest of you, this is like the first time my character has looked at all interested in what was going on.
Sounds about right.
As I'm walking out with my rifle, it's gonna look like I'm trying to examine each thing. I'm gonna look back to the couple, stay inside, and I'll kick the door open and step out with my rifle.
I'm Bliskin!
Yeah. I'm gonna let Sigvik go first, and then I'm gonna slowly mosey on out.
I just hop over the edge towards where she's changing the tire.
Nick, can you do me a favor and ask one of those ants if they're your huckleberry? Just please.
Wow.
Nick, I'm gonna need you to be Matt Mercer, okay? Just like
or Val Kilmer, one of the two.
I almost jumped in with you, but I was like, no, I gotta do the over the top gravelly.
That's great.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll.
We should roll initiative.
Yeah.
That one.
Make sure you click your token.
Damn, that was a good initiative.
I will roll for. I can roll for. I
That
can roll
makes
for
sense, actually.
First.
That makes so much sense.
Ganondorf on the board too.
Yeah, and then if I click on his token and oh, it's a PNG. How nice.
Yeah.
If I roll on his sheet while his token's selected, it'll do it.
It'll do
right?
anything.
Okay. He has a large bonus. Oh, alright.
29? Holy shit.
Guys, I take my role seriously.
I
When I make a
still
character,
don't understand the reference.
I'm so glad that I got a 1.
He's solid Snake Plissken.
Yep.
Oh, I get the solid snake thing. That I understand.
Solid Snake is a ripoff of. The guy who created him is very into movies and ripped him off of Escape from New York, Snake Plissken. That's why his name is Snake.
Yes.
Good old Snake Plissken.
It's also why you see like Norman Reedus and actors in his newer games.
Makes sense, actually.
Okay, so we'll kick off the round with Pliskin. So there are 6 ants. So this one is currently right next to Louise, and she is trying to fend it off to get to the tire. This one right here is also. This one over here is also burrowed out of the ground, as well as this one. And these 3 that are actually on the cliffs are actually coming down from alcoves in the cliffs. They have just emerged and have not hit the ground yet.
Alright, I'm going to
Plissken uses his action to hide under a box.
Yeah, no, that was the idea. No, I'm going to climb up on top of this bad boy. So I can get a better angle.
Sure.
And I'm gonna shoot down at this ant right here.
Okay, go for it.
Boom. Does 12 hit?
That actually misses as you fire your energon rifle straight down, but its spindly legs seem to elude your shot.
Damn! And that'll be my turn.
Yeah, Sigvik.
Alright, I'm taking my energon blade. I'm gonna try for a great weapon master attack on that.
Ooh. On that same one?
Noise.
Yeah, the one next to Louise.
Sure.
I assume that misses.
Ooh, yes, that misses as well as you go in for the swing, but he seems to be. His legs are actually like on Louise, like trying to like wrestle with her. Let me show you a picture of what these guys look like. That might help.
Yeah. Somehow worse than I imagined.
Yeah, they're pretty gross. Even without doing a nature check, you guys can tell that these things are very irradiated.
You're very irradiated.
I am. But you guys are not affected by the radiation in this area because before you got into New Novos, or I guess actually once you got there, you all would have been administered a simple little vaccine, vaccinate your kids, please, that protects against like sort of atmospheric radiation, or what's the word?
That's good.
Very
What if they bite us?
That's probably bad. There's not a vaccine for that.
Alright, cool.
Alright, Sigvik, anything else?
That is it.
Okay. Big dang ants. This one that's on the ground is going to finally break its grapple with Louise, who immediately starts going towards the tire, looking around her. And he's going to make a bite attack on Sigvik. What is your AC, Sigvik?
15.
15. Okay, yeah, he goes in for the bite, but he does actually miss you as you are prepared to fight this thing. This one over here is going to spit acid at this character who I think is Sticky Wicket.
It is Sticky Wicket.
What is Sticky Wicket's AC?
13.
I love that there's a
So
character that's
excited.
named Sticky. There's a guy with Sticky in his name. That's great.
Yeah, he hits you. Let me grab
Wait.
Good
Wait.
window. Sure.
Wait,
Does he stick?
I'm just gonna look to Sticky Wicket as there, and put a Energon projector on him.
Oh
Put a
my
shield on him.
god. That's amazing.
Very nice.
God, we're so tanky.
I had to think of a reason to have a skin tight suit, guys.
That's amazing.
Fair enough.
I love it.
Doesn't do much damage when it
it's
hits.
7. Is this temp
Okay.
HP?
Yeah, so you get a temp HP shield just before the acid hits
That's
you, which
7.
only deals a total of 3 radiation.
Oh, nice. So I've got 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look up at you. Pliskin, and nod my head silently.
Yeah, I'm already looking away, like surveying the battlefield.
Yeah, he doesn't look at explosions. This one right here is going to spit acid at Sigvik. What did you say your AC was again? never
KAC
mind.
is 15, EAC is 14.
Yeah, he misses you with the acid spit as you have jumped down from this bus with your sword and are preparing for combat here. The ones on the cliffs move down a little bit more, but they don't get close enough to attack yet. Yeah, we will go to... Wow, that is a gap right there. 26 to 12. Sticky Wicket.
Alright. I'm gonna stow my
Do the
shotgun.
thing.
I'm gonna stow my shotgun, and then I'm gonna make a couple cestus attacks.
Sure.
You guys are gonna see my 6 arms come up, and then they're all gonna go like old school, like front boxer. I've just got like
Fisticuffs.
of them out.
Who's going fisticuffs? Keep it classy.
That hits.
23 to 10.
Yep, that hits. The 10 misses.
The 10 misses out.
Yeah.
10
Keep
piercing
it
damage.
classy.
Okay, yeah, you go in with a quick right hook. You manage to pierce its gross, disgusting carapace.
And then I'm gonna
Some
spit. And then I'm gonna spit like at its feet.
Some yellowish blood.
Disgusting.
spills
And I get
out.
stuck in the energon shield with you.
Mhm.
And then I'm done. I'm done.
Rydell. Oh, your
Alright.
picture now. Let me show everybody the picture.
Yes,
I do. I just found.
Very nice. I like it.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so I didn't jump down. I'm up top
Sure,
still.
yeah. Also for reference, since it came up,
It's just squishy.
Eddie, and the 4 other passengers, have all stayed on top of the bus as well. They've sort of taken cover and
Are those
trying to
two
clean
EMTs
pistols.
looking pretty useless?
they're training their pistols over the edge of the bus, but they don't look very confident with them. The cowboy has not stirred at all this entire time.
Hilarious. Go wake that cowboy up, bro.
I could.
That's probably fucking McCree sleeping underneath that head.
It's high noon.
It's
That's
McCree,
funny.
except his entire body.
The image I used is McCree Reaper.
Really?
McCree.
Yeah, it is. No, it is actually. Yeah. That's why he's so pale.
McReaper. McReaper. It's what Ronald McDonald turns into on Halloween.
Yikes.
And a full moon.
Or just when the cameras aren't on him.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I'm going to like pull my goggles down because there's goggles on my head too, and I'm fix my eyes and say, danger is close. And I'm going to kind of like form my hands in a ball and say, you fight ants and insects with fire. And I'm going to throw a chromatic orb at it, but it's definitely not going to be fire. It's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. I want to do Chaos Bolt. Not chromatic orb. I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt. First, I'm going to roll.
Which one are you shooting at?
Let's see. The one that sprayed acid. The one at the top.
Oh.
Tippy tap.
Oh, okay, this one all the way up here. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. And the chromatic herb. I rolled a 4. I guess I gotta roll a attack too, but
Chaos.
God damn it.
Chaos control.
Where?
Oh, it's Ian. I was like,
Ian,
what the fuck
Howdy.
is missing?
welcome back,
Ian.
Ian.
Your turn hasn't even come up.
Ian,
You guys
Is
are
it?
dead fucking
For
live,
real?
loser.
I can live with that.
Shit, where
Everything
did
good,
it stop? Oh, there it is.
That's
Okay.
what you saved the best for.
So it ended up rolling. It's going to be force damage if I hit. I did
Ian, we're still in the first round of combat. You haven't missed really anything.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Some people have jumped down from the bus to help protect Louise. I assume your character probably jumped down as well.
Oh, fuck yeah, but not to protect anyone, just because the prospect of a fight.
Sure. Yeah, I put you right here.
Thank you.
I rolled a 21 to hit.
I also crit failed on your initiative. Sorry.
No worries. I have no complaints.
Sure. Sorry, James. Would you roll? Or what was your attack?
Oh, I can choose one. Oh, that's not nearly as much fun. Chaos random. Okay, so I rolled a d8 first, and I got force damage. So I'm gonna do force.
What was your attack roll?
A 21.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
Okay. The damage is 2d8 plus. Well, that's good. 14. Oh, it's another d6. So 14 plus 4 is 18 force damage.
18 force damage. Okay, yeah. So you gather your chaos bolt, and as you shoot it, it turns into like pure arcane energy and lashes out at this kind of unsuspecting ant, and he is still standing, but he has taken a savage blow. You have burned away like half of his face, or you've like.
And I'll kind of pull my goggles up and look, and I'll say, "Well, that wasn't fire, but it did the job." And I'm going to. Who got hit? Nobody got hit pretty bad. That's true. I'm going to pass my turn. Actually,
Okay.
can I use a bonus action to kick the guy away? Can I go kick the?
Yeah. So you walk up a little bit, and you kind of kick him to nudge him awake, and he kind of stirs and shakes his head, and you kind of hear like a mechanical sounding kind of snort analog, and
to help him wake up, I psionically go, "Wake up!"
He stirs, and he actually just kind of like turns over on his side and puts his hands next to his head as a pillow.
Well, alright.
That's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
His hat does kind of tilt in a way that allows you to see his face now, though.
Oh shit.
And looking at him, you can tell by his face that he is a hero class nemetic. His eyes are just sort of like a V-shaped strip of light, and rather than having a he's got a mouth that's sort of like, he's got like a jaw that kind of unhinges a little bit, but he definitely looks like a soldier type nemetic, but his outfit suggests otherwise. But yeah, he does not wake up when you kick him.
Can I use my one fuck up and infuse do an infusion onto that spell?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna use Flame Burst, so a target on my spell takes additional fire damage equal to my element. So it takes 22 damage total, with 4 of it being fire.
Okay. Yeah, he definitely looks worse for wear, but he's still standing.
Yeah, I just didn't want to.
He's a good boy. All right.
I want to try and use the class features I have.
Eddie kind of is holding his revolver. It looks a little shaky, but he is going to take a shot at. He's going to take a shot at this ant down here that fired acid. Or spit some acid, and he hits. And I need a different die than what I have. Yeah, he does 7 damage to that ant. With a kind of a shaky but still a solid shot. The 2 Leontes are going to take shots. And they both miss. They seem to be figuring out how to use a gun. The old guy in man, he has kind of still trying to put away all of his tools, and he kind of picks up the gun next to him and starts fumbling with it, and in doing so, all of the bullets fall out of the cylinder, and he's like muttering to himself as he starts plugging them back into the cylinder. Louise continues to fix the tire. It seems like there is some acid damage to the There's some acid damage to the the wheel well as well. And she seems to be trying to. She's got her toolbox out there, and she seems to be fixing it. Casta. I wonder what Castor is going to do.
I'm gonna sidle on up to this side of the bus, and I'm gonna take out that hand cannon. Take a look at it and have it start like glowing like a cool blue, like that nuclear blue glow. And then just like start spinning it in my hand, and then I cast magic missile as I spin the gun, and it fires. Was it 4 bolts, 3 bolts?
3 at level 1.
Yeah, 1 to each one of these little guys.
Sure. Go ahead and roll your damages.
Left to right, left to right.
Oh, are you firing
one
each one at a different target?
So 1, 4, and 1.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so you quickly just go as you fire 3 quick little darts, and it seems to plug them, and the noise actually makes Eddie sort of realize that there's one over here as well, and some of the other passengers will turn their attention on the ones over here.
And I will use 2. Oh wait, no. Sorry. New class, people. Sorry.
You're good.
No forgiveness.
I'll use 2 evoker points to quicken another magic missile and then cast another magic missile.
Sure, I know why you can do that.
Yep.
Are you targeting the same 3
The
again?
same 3, same order.
Okay.
2, 1, 2.
Sure. Yeah, they
Did you take Spell Driver?
I sure did.
I did.
It's a good spell.
Good.
It's a good feat.
I
Thank
did not
you.
say
It's a
that.
really good feat.
It's a good thing to play test too.
Thank Maddie Mercer.
I did on Sundays.
I think that technically Spell Driver
Oh, true.
is supposed to have a level 8 prereq though, just to let you know shit.
Oh, jeez. Well,
Okay, well, we'll fix that in post.
yeah.
For now, it's fine.
We're just gonna green screen both their characters out of this session.
Yep. All right, is that your turn, Caster?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. Razmataz.
About time
As
this
eligible.
vacation got started, and I'm just gonna charge the nearest and this one here.
Sure. You have a warhammer.
And I'm
right?
on correct.
Very nice.
Oof. Not bad.
Yeah, that hits. You bring down your warhammer as you charge towards it. Ooh.
And then
made for smashing ants.
I'm pretty sure I get to re-roll that one.
It does not matter. You kill that one as you bring down your hammer directly onto its head.
In that case, I will rush at this one. But no more actions this turn.
Sure. Top of the order.
Good old Solid Snake Pliskin.
As as you guys are watching these ants kind of close in on you a little bit, you notice a couple more pop out of more alcoves.
Jeez. It's not good. We went we just rode into Ant Town.
Mm-hmm.
Population, a bunch of dead ants.
Pliskin, you're on the top of this bus with the rest of the not important passengers, and what would you like to do?
I'm gonna look behind to them. Stay behind me. I'm gonna look to Sticky. Get in there. I'm gonna bonus action flick the side of my gun. I'm gonna charge it.
Nice.
Yep.
And then I will take a shot at this one right here again.
Sure.
Or no, because I'll have disadvantage. Well, I mean, I'm above it.
You're
Yeah,
above it, right?
Yeah, no, you're fine. You're not engaged with it.
Okay, then I'll shoot that one with the
You guys have only been
charge.
going steady for a couple weeks.
Does a 16
It does.
Your mom.
Holy shit.
20 energy damage.
What
Oh,
the very nice.
fuck. Oh, that's max damage.
Yep.
that's
Yeah, so
holy shit.
Bliskin calls out to the others and aims his rifle down again. Having missed the first shot, he looks for the weak spot that he knows exists on every living thing, and clicks that little button and fires a blast of energon that just totally obliterates that ant.
Nice.
Yikes.
And Luis calls up to you and says, "Good shooting, partner."
He's not even acknowledging. He's still looking around.
Sure.
Taking in the situation.
Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Sigvik Krimu.
Alright.
What
I
you
will, rush over to this one, since that one just died.
Mm-hmm.
And go for another attack.
Sure.
Still a great weapon, this one.
Ooh, that hits. Your swing strikes true. Very nice. Yeah, you swing in with what kind of weapon do you have? Do you have a greatsword?
That's an Energon Blade.
Oh, you have an energon blade. Okay, yeah. So you go in with your energon blade, and it rings true right in the middle of its abdomen, and just cuts a nice deep hole in it, and it screeches out its little mandibles, kind of like acid is drooling and bleeding out of its wounds.
Yes.
Yep. Anything else, Sigvik?
That is it.
Okay. Big dang ants. We now have a 39 for some reason.
Oh, it's doing that thing where they start adding onto themselves.
Could you please
I
say
think I actually
darn
know.
ants in the future? I have delicate ears.
You're right, I apologize. Let's see. The one that you just attacked, Sigvik, is going to try to bite you. And he misses. Yeah, he seems to be reeling from his blade that you just cleaved into him. This one is going to move up to Sticky Wicket and attempt to bite him. What is your KAC, Mr. Wicket?
13.
13. Yes, he does hit you with his gross acidic mandibles.
I've still got 4 temp hit points. So.
Well, those 4 10 points are gone
Oh,
as he deals 4 damage to you.
but I'm in an aggressive bastion.
Of course he is.
They will have to make a dex save, which you guys didn't put in, but I'm assuming the intelligence will be my spellcasting
Yeah,
save
yeah,
DC.
Yeah.
Okay. 13.
Wait, what kind of save did you say it was?
Dex.
Dex. He actually passes.
Okay.
He manages to dodge the blast, but he did only deal 4 damage to you.
Where'd you find this guy, Shane?
Who, Weston? I found him on the street. Oh,
The ant.
Just passing his dex saves. Who does he think he is?
It still takes half as much, so it takes.
Does it?
Yeah, no, it still takes half.
Each
Probably blast
affected
you
creature must
each.
pass-
Oh, that's energy. That's energon blast. I'm dumb. Sorry.
Yeah, you are.
No, it still
or,
takes.
or half as much as the save. So take 3.
You're in.
takes 3.
You're in
Yeah.
3 energy.
sacred flame
Uh-huh.
territory.
He is not looking great from that.
Nice.
He's
wasn't looking great
bleeding, and
before.
acid is spilling out of his wounds.
Let's be fair, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't looking great.
I
before.
smile at the
It's a
ant and
fucking ant.
chuckle.
This one
See that
crawls
shield
down
damage it.
from the. This one crawls down from the cliff, as well as this one. This one is going to go up and bite you, Caster. What is your KAC?
That would be a 14.
Yeah, he hits you with his bite attack for 10 piercing damage. And he grapples you in his immense mandibles.
God damn it.
This one is going to attempt to bite Raz. What is your Kate? Never mind. He crits out, so he misses you.
15.
Okay. Yeah, he misses you as he goes in for the bite. And those two are dead. So let's go to Mr. Wicked.
All right, I'm gonna punch the one that got damaged by my shield.
Mm-hmm.
14.
That hits.
Send an uppercut into the ant's jaw. Still up?
Yeah. No, you send the uppercut directly into its jaw, and its head just bursts.
I just chuckle and then I spin the fist around, and I'm gonna I feel like Sigvig's got that. I'm gonna rush over to this one and use my offhand swing. Oh, goof.
Ooh, yeah, your swing misses. Your swing misses as it leaps from a rock towards you.
That's my turn.
Okay. Rydell.
Alright, I'm going to look. Is one of these guys, one of these ants that looks like against the cliff, are they actually like against the cliff?
They've hopped down at this point. They're at the base of the cliff. They sort of crawled down from an alcove, but they're both down now.
At the base. Okay, cool. Can I see within?
That should be right there.
Within what is it? Nice, like it's 60 feet around me.
Mm-hmm.
A 1 to 5 pound stone that I can pick up and throw with catapult.
Yes, absolutely.
Sweet. I'm gonna do that and fling it at the guy that's Sticky Wickets. At the fighting Sticky Wicket.
Yeah. Let's see, Dex save.
Dex save against 14.
Yeah, it fails.
3d8 bludgeoning damage. 8 plus 9 total. 9 bludgeoning damage.
9 total. Yeah, you send a rock flying into it, and it just kind of screeches out as Sticky Wicket kind of dodges a little bit and sort of goes back for a punch.
And then I'll kind of like look over the edge and I'll be like, "You need some help? Is the danger too much?" And I'm going to use Spell Driver, cast Healing Word on Caster, and then I'm going to infuse it as well with the Terraform, whatever the Terra infusion is, that allows him to make a saving throw against a condition, spell, or effect they're affected by.
Yep.
So you can try to ungrapple yourself, not on your turn. And I just rolled a 4d4. That's 8 health back.
Oh.
Yep. So you feel a surge go through you and heal up some of your wounds, and you you suddenly feel like you have strength to try to push this thing away. So go ahead and make a you're grappled, so it'll be a contested athletics.
Ah, damn.
Much obliged.
I tried to get your turn back.
Yeah. You try to wrench its mandibles open, but it just squeezes even harder, and you're still kind of locked in there. Okay.
That's my turn.
Eddie, who is going to he's going to take a shot at this one that just crawled down from the cliff. And he misses as it hops down. Eddie seems to be quite nervous. The two Leonti are going to take a couple shots. And both of them actually hit. They were firing at the same one.
Matthew, I don't want to be this guy, but you've actually... I had too much health on my shield.
Oh, really? So I'm at 38?
Yikes.
Yeah, both of the Leontes look at each other and seem to like kind of discuss each other, and the female one points at the ant over there. They both train their revolvers, they both fire at the same time, and that ant is just totally obliterated. They both high-five each other after that happens. And then Dr. Kozand is going to having just barely finished putting the last bullet into his gun, with a shaky hand, he looks over and he tries to shoot at the one that is next to Siegfried. Oh, and he crit fails. He misses completely, and the shot rings off the cliff.
I'm glad that all of you seem to instinctively know that if you steal a kill from Raz, you're going to be taking its place.
Oh.
That is quite a
That's his personality quirk.
I was just like, I was waiting for it to happen, but like,
boner.
everyone kept like shooting someone else, and I was like, perfect. Because this could have gotten ugly.
Caster, it is your turn.
Alright. Still currently grappled. I'm
You are
going
still currently
to.
grappled.
You have
That's
him
okay.
exactly where you want him, Caster.
Well,
It's true.
I love this song.
All I'm going to say is saving throws aren't at a disadvantage because you're adjacent.
I'm gonna go ahead and it's a bit too close for my liking, and I'm going to like charge a spell into my forehead, and then try and headbutt the creature with the photon punch.
Ooh, very nice. That's an attack roll, right?
Yeah, it's just a spell attack.
Sure, go for it.
Oof! Oh, I'm gonna reroll that.
Jeez.
I'm gonna reroll that with my lucky guy and feet.
Your guy in
Lucky
nonsense.
guy and spatial nonsense.
Luck point.
Photon punch. That's
There
much
you
better.
go. That one hits.
I was hoping that if I missed, it was a natural one because I can do something about that.
Yep.
That's 10 radiation damage, and do they make a save? Because it just says no. It's just knocked prone.
Yeah, it's knocked prone.
Wow.
Yeah, so you headbutt it, and it kind of reels from the attack, and yeah, I'm gonna say knocking it prone does break the grapple, because it was using its mandibles. So the radiation does not seem to be particularly effective on him, though.
I figured. Well, see you later. And I'm gonna use spell driver to misty step up onto the the top of the bus.
Sure. Yeah. Here, I'll move Eddie out of the way a little bit. You're good. Okay. Raz.
Yikes.
Mataz. I think Ian might be gone again.
Oh shit, no, sorry, I forgot that was me.
Don't worry.
It was the Mataz that threw me.
Yeah, of course.
Alright.
I'm not gonna stop calling that, though.
Can't have Raz without a Mataz, bro. Everybody knows that.
Facts.
What about the old Razzle Dazzle? Come
my
on, get your
God.
head out of your ass,
That's
James.
a close cousin. It's a close relative of.
Your Razzle Dazzle does hit.
That is a Raz without a Mataz, my friend. Anyways.
Whatever it is, it worked.
Why did we do
11
that?
damage.
That was stupid.
Yeah, you swing your warhammer, you crack it across the face, and part of its face just caves in, but it is still standing.
Not for long. Action surge!
Oh my god.
It's completely pointless, but I'm going for it.
Is this guy a merc?
Wait, is he?
Guy Merc.
14?
Yeah, that hits.
That's some overkill.
Yeah, no. How do you want to kill that guy?
Merciless.
Yeah, clearly.
So the first one like cracks its face, and then the second one that I like wind up for just like explodes it across that like cliff face right there.
Gives it a good Gallagher.
Oh yeah, the 20th rows were getting wet on that one.
Oh boy.
The
Yikes.
20th row.
That's
Damn, Shamu.
I can't
is
take
it-
credit for the Gallagher reference. That was all Nick. I just did what
That's
I could
true.
with it.
Is that your full turn, Raz?
That
Is that
is my
movement?
full turn. I do not. I guess I
You
will
can move,
up
yeah.
to this one.
Sure. Yeah, at the top of the round, a couple more ants crawl out of the walls. One of them starts crawling down from here. And another one starts crawling down from here. And Pliskin.
I'm assuming that when I charge a shot, that takes an additional bullet or something? Or is it just my bonus action economy?
I would imagine it uses a little more battery, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use it again.
Sure.
I'm gonna flick the side of it again, and I'm gonna shoot this one on Sticky Wicket. No, actually, I'm gonna shoot this one. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
go for
I
it.
got that out of the way.
Crit fail. No.
Oof.
Yikes.
Yeah, you're shot.
You know, I either crit fail or I crit. That's all.
True. Yeah.
It's a way to live life.
Wait, you're not a guy?
No, I'm just saving it.
Alright,
What if we have a boss or something?
that's fair. I just didn't want to be grappled by a fucking ant anymore.
Yeah, so your shot misses. Would you like to do anything else?
No, that's my turn.
Sigvik.
I'll just try and finish the one in front of me. Do a
Sure.
normal attack this time.
Ooh, yep.
Hey!
Pretty good.
That one gets splattered, probably. Oh.
Let's see. Yeah, that one dies as well. How would you like to kill it?
Just cleave its head off.
Sure. Yeah, you chop its head off.
Yeah.
And some yellowish, brownish blood spills out of its abdomen.
And then
Kind of gross.
I can use my bonus action to make another attack since I killed something.
Mm.
Great weapon master. Well, when I crit or kill something.
Of which you did both.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. 2 extra attacks. 2.
And this one.
Technically, I think that's accurate.
This one is currently
Thank you.
on the cliff. It's a little too high to hit with a melee weapon.
This one is prone though, right?
Yeah, this one over here is still prone.
I will rush to that one then.
Sure, you have
And-
advantage.
Great weapon master on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Holy, what the hell?
Oh, honey, what the fuck? Yeah, that one dies as well.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't say and or.
That's 2 triggers, baby.
Yeah, but it does say one melee
Let's use
weapon
my
that
bonus
has a
action,
bonus
though.
action.
Yeah,
and
so-
you
Oh,
can use
yeah.
bonus actions.
Yeah.
But if you did have 2 bonus actions, technically I
dope.
think that would be okay.
Yep.
Because that situation is so rare, I don't think anyone would have a problem
I
with
would just
that.
let it happen. Homebrew it. Homebrew it. 2 attacks.
No, get out of here.
That's so rare. How often are you going to do that?
We'll fix it in post.
I
There you
mean,
go.
I feel like a lot of the times that you crit, like, you kill an enemy. Not all the time, but enough of the times, though.
Maybe.
But if you add having
this
2
level.
bonus actions to that mix.
Alright, what's up? Are you going? Big dang ants?
Yeah.
Too late.
Sidvic, are you done with your turn?
Darn ants. Big darn ants.
Big dang ants.
Shut the fuck up, Johnny.
Big damn ants.
The world will not stop and start at your convenience.
Johnny!
This one here is going to bite at Sticky Wicket.
It's been a minute since I've seen that.
What is your KAC?
Me?
Yes.
13.
Yeah, he hits you.
There.
And you take
A little late.
9 piercing damage, and you are
Wow.
grappled by its mandible.
Well, actually,
Why did they become a
4,
35 in the initiative order?
Because when I said there, I was giving him a shield,
Yeah,
That's what I assumed.
5.
I just assumed that.
I don't know
It's
why it's
4.
changing repeatedly.
and then it explodes. And he has to do a dex save against 13.
These ants are fast!
Ants are
Fails that dex save.
5 energy damage.
5 energy damage. Okay. It pops and he reels from the energy explosion. But yes, Sticky Wicket is currently grappled.
That shit hasn't died yet? That got hit by so much stuff.
No, he is not dead yet.
No.
This one comes down a little bit and will spit acid at Sigvik. Which hits. Deals 8 radiation damage.
Right.
And then this one comes down and will attack. It's actually going to attack Louise. And does hit her. For 7 piercing damage, and Louise is also grappled by an ant. As she is taken from her post at the tire and pulled away from it by the ant.
Oh, that's not good.
And yeah, Sticky Wicket.
Alright, I'm gonna make a contested athletics check to break free
Sure.
from this grapple.
Let's see. You actually fail the contested check as
Ugh.
it strengthens its grip on you with the mandibles.
Here's my turn then.
Continues to lock you in place.
Next person.
Rydell.
That's
All right.
for me, dog.
I'm going to. What can I do with that? Cantrip. If someone's grappling my ally and I try to move them with like a gust or some kind of spell like that, it takes them with them, right? If it's grappled,
Yep.
It doesn't break the grapple, correct?
Yeah,
Just
I
making-
think
making
so.
All right, I'm gonna like hear yelling and go to the other side. I'm gonna like look around. I'm gonna take out these three rocks that I picked up earlier, and I'm gonna snap my fingers 3 times, and they're all gonna imbue with different energy. And then I'm gonna look down it. I'm gonna toss a stone straight down it with using magic stone to attack the ant grappling.
It's one of my favorite cantrips.
Yeah, dude. For what I was doing, I was like, I'm gonna take this because I don't want to just be firebolting shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is melee attack, which is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right. It takes a d6. 1 plus 4. Yeah, 5 damage. 5 whole damage.
This is on the one that's grappling Sticky Wicket, correct?
Yes. No, it was the one I went over to the other side of the bus. The one that's
yeah.
grappling
Okay,
Luis.
Should have been a sorcerer.
Why?
Reroll ones.
Oh well. Yeah.
Hey, Jesse, thank you for your input.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you chuck
He's
a
not
stone
here.
down
I
there
have
and
to.
cracks it on top of the head.
Can-
it's still
Oh, I can do that with a different action comic. I'm gonna use Spell Driver and use another one of my magic stones on the thing. I'll throw one and be like, damn, and I'll throw another one.
Sure.
Ooh, that's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That's better. 6 plus 4 is 10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Yeah, you crack it on the head with another stone, and it reels and starts to loosen its grip on Louise, but is still holding her tightly, like a lover.
Say, you're looking into the eyes of danger. What does it feel like?
It looks up at you and just kind of.
I smile.
As one
And
does.
my turn.
Eddie is also going to take a shot at that one. He's actually going to spend the inspiration that Matt gave me, as his good friend Luis is in trouble. Holy shit, and he crits.
Hey,
What a good DM. You used the inspiration on our allies.
You better knock on wood, or he's got something horrible planned.
I'm pretty sure he just doesn't want them to die.
Yeah, he points his gun over the railing, and he says, "You let her go!" And he fires a huge shot out of his cannon and just totally decimates that ant,
Nice.
splattering Luis with yellow blood. She looks up at him and, covered in yellow grossness, she gives him the thumbs up and goes back to the tire. The two Leontes are gonna fire a couple shots.
Is she like fixing or changing the tire or something?
Yes, she's changing the tire.
Okay.
She has already fixed the broken part of the wheel well.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, both of the Leonti miss. Beginner's luck, it seems. The old man's gonna fire, and he misses as well. The cowboy sleeping in the corner turns over to his other side and continues his restful slumber. Caster LaRue out.
A lot of good rock country on here. I'm gonna look to the couple and say, "Watch this," and I'm gonna take.
She gives you a tiny thumbs up from above.
Take a huge drag of the.
Oh no, you're actually next to her. Yeah.
My cigar, blow a smoke circle, while still looking at them. Aim with the hand cannon behind my head, and just channel magic missile through it. All three missiles go through the smoke ring and hit these two.
Sure.
Two at this one and one at.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
So cool. So cool.
That's, 4-3 to this one over here, and then 3 damage to this one.
Okay.
Oh, there.
Yeah, both of them are still standing. The one that's grappling Sticky Wicket is very messed up. Alright, Raz. Matez.
Thank you. You did promise.
I did promise.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up and hit this one.
Sure.
With a big fucking hammer.
Yeah, that hits.
Yikes.
Good roll.
Oh wait, I get to reroll both of those.
You better keep on running.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let me double check if that's the ability that. Yep, I must use the new one. So
Yeah.
it's actually one less.
Okay.
7 damage.
Ooh, whoops.
Okay. Yeah, it is. That one is still standing, but it definitely seems taking a big hit.
Didn't you roll a d12, right? Don't you roll a d12? Reroll the d12?
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah.
No, I rolled a d6 instead of a d12.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was
go
like,
ahead.
really? You only got much?
Hey!
Oh my god.
Back
I'm
up
sorry.
to 8.
Alright, I'm gonna erase this other number. So just go down. Okay. It is still standing. Anything else?
That time when
Raz?
you survived.
Anything else from Mr. Raz?
Nope.
The old razzle-dazzle. Alright. At the top of the order, no more ants seem to crawl down from alcoves in the cliffs. However, the ground starts to shake. But, yes, like that, actually. Except louder and more realistic. Pliskin.
I'm gonna look down, see if she can. Everyone move! I'm gonna jump down and get to over here,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll shoot at this one because I don't want to hit Sticky.
Which one? You're shooting at the one next to him, though?
No,
Oh, that one.
yeah,
Okay,
this
yeah, go for it.
one. I will again bonus action to get the
Sure.
charge. 22,
Oh, that hits.
11 damage.
Yeah, that one dies. How do you kill it?
Just the enormous energy
Nice-
round just
nice
takes off
clean
like half
shot.
of it. Yeah.
Yep. Just obliterates and it falls to the ground. Its legs kind of twitch a few times slowly before it finally falls dead.
How many energy cartridges do we have?
I'll say you have enough for 2 clips.
Okay.
Like two full
Additional
magazines,
ones?
basically.
Or
Two total.
Okay.
Sigvik. There is one ant that you can see.
And I am going to try and hit it.
Sure.
It's a normal attack.
Ooh,
That shouldn't have been
that misses as you go in with your blade. But you're not quite sure where to land your blade as it is still grappling Sticky Wicket. So you're kind of like trying to aim it, you swing and you just can't quite land it.
That would be it.
Okay. Ant's turn, which is now at 48, so that's cool. He's going to he's going to
4
spit some
times
acid.
faster.
He's going to spit some acid from his mouth onto Sticky Wicket. And hit. And deal 8 radiation damage to Sticky Wicket. Except Matt has fallen asleep, so he takes 8 damage.
Is he really?
Positive,
Uh-huh.
he's not dead, so we're fine. And now it is Sticky Wicket's turn. Sticky Wicket is going to punch the man.
How do you know?
Because I think that's what Matt said that he would do. He's got a DA. He does hit. He's actually just trying to punch it while being frustrated. But his punch actually uppercuts it right in the jaw, and his entire fist just goes straight through the ant's head, and he sort of shakes it off as the ant's body falls. And as a calm sets over the canyon, Louise calls out and says, "All right, folks, tires fixed. Looks like we're good to go. Everybody hop on. I don't like what's coming next." And presumably all of you hop back onto the...
Yeah, let's go.
I'm
back
gonna
onto
wait.
the bus.
I'm gonna wait till it moves. Everyone's inside and it moves off
Sure.
the thing. We're go,
Yeah.
go!
So everyone gets on, and as you get on, you notice that the tire that she replaced is like the equivalent of a spare tire today, where it's kind of like a shitty one that's not meant to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
But
So nice.
it seems fixed up pretty well. And once everybody gets settled in, Eddie will kind of make sure that everything's in order, and Luis will hit the gas and start to drive through the canyon. And the rumble gets louder and louder and louder. And then Eddie shrieks, pointing behind the bus. And you turn and see another giant ant. This one 8 times the size of a normal one. Emerges from the ground with a deafening crash and just starts chugging towards the bus with malice in its tiny little beady eyes. And well, there's no windows on the top. It's open and there's like railings,
Okay,
so you guys can see everything.
Okay.
But so we're gonna go ahead and start a little skill challenge here. As you try to get this presumably ant queen out of your lives. We'll keep the same initiative order. So Rydell, what would you like to do? The bus has started going around this bend through the canyon, and the ant queen seems to be gaining. And this is, as usual, a rule of cool type of situation, so don't worry about like damage and stuff. Eddie would actually tell you that no one has ever faced down Queen Acrodax and lived, so it's probably a good idea to run rather than try to kill it.
Who's first? What?
Rydell is first.
Okay. We're like amongst like cliffs and stuff, right? Like there's like it's kind of a more enclosed space. Is it behind us or is it?
It's behind you.
It's behind you. Okay,
It's
cool.
about 60. It's about 60 feet behind us.
Can I try to even if I have to use like it doesn't really make sense, but like mechanically, but like, can I try to like use thaumaturgy to kind of like make really big noises and try to rattle loose like rocks and shit from the cliffs around to try and like fall and make slow her down and stuff?
Absolutely. Make a spell attack.
Ooh, that's 15 total.
Okay. Yeah, you use thaumaturgy and you boom out with your voice, and the cliffs start rattling, and you start to see little rocks start falling from amongst them, and you do see a couple larger stones fall, sort of to her sides, unaffecting her. But up ahead, you see that there are some larger stones that are kind of sitting on the top there that are rattling and possibly might fall.
For sure.
Yeah, no, Matt's
Good
totally
start.
on. Louise keeps hitting the gas, and Eddie and the rest of the passengers, with the exception of the sleepy cowboy, are all kind of like holding on for dear life, holding on to like the railing in the back of the seats, just trying to focus on not dying. So we'll go to
I would
Caster.
have very begrudgingly. Wait, we aren't all on the bus yet, right?
No, you're all on the bus. You've all gotten onto
Okay,
the
yeah,
bus,
right.
and Louise has hit
Yeah.
the gas. And you guys are running.
I was
So
super happy up until we had to get on the bus. And
Yeah.
been
I
very
can-
begrudging.
convert points into spell slots.
And the other way around, yes.
Okay, so it costs 3 points to make a second level spell slot.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think when you convert slots to points, it's not a 1-to-1 value anymore.
Slots to
One.
slots to.
Yeah,
Like
one of
if you were to transfer them like points to spell slots and then spell slots back to points, you would have less points than you started with.
Yeah, you would
Okay.
lose value.
It's not an equivalent exchange.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. I mean that makes sense.
Matsu.
Oh, Matt's away.
Hey, Zach.
I was like, that sounded like Matt.
That's all right. Oh,
good.
man, you're
Hey,
a hard-working dude.
Yeah, Matt, you sent your fist through that ant and
Oh,
just
thank God.
like literally through his head.
Seeing what?
To catch Matt
Oh, yeah,
up
yeah.
to speed real quick. Queen Acronax herself has emerged from the ground. She's 8 times the size of a normal giant ant.
No, that's
And,
disgusting.
all of
That's
you,
Gross.
all of you have clambered onto the bus in your normal seats, and Louise is just hitting the gas as fast as she can while we're doing a skill challenge to see if you guys can escape this.
Shoot at her.
So I'm going to convert a first level spell slot into it's 1 point.
So when you convert a slot into points, you get the level of the spell slot as points.
Oh, okay, and that costs 1 more to convert.
Yeah, when you create if you create a first level slot out of points, it costs 2. And if you create a second level, it costs 3.
I don't know why I brought this up. I have enough points for what I want to do, so I'm
Sure. Never
Never
hurts to clarify.
So I'm going to use my last 2 evoker points to quicken a spell, and I'm going to rub my hands together and get that blue nuclear glow again, and then just like rip apart the nuclear burst and cast 2 at the rocks that Rydell loosened up. So I cast 2 nuclear bursts up at the rocks.
Sure.
Try and make
Yeah, so
more
you-
fall in the way.
So you reach out and you fire both of these blasts at the cliffside surrounding you, and you manage to position it in such a way that the rocks do not fall on you. Go ahead and make just make one like spell attack.
1 spell attack. That would be.
Yeah. So you ring out with these irradiated, just booming blasts, and it rattles the cliffside even more and makes these deafening booms as the rocks do start to fall. And they look like they're going to fall directly on her, but they're not quite there yet.
Alright.
Raz, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna say to Eddie.
Throw the hammer. Throw the hammer. Throw the hammer.
It's a one shot, bro. Do it.
It comes
it's
back.
cute that
Right?
you think it'd be a one shot. I'm running after it. I'm gonna say to Eddie.
Something?
I think you cut out.
You did cut out. Or we lost you.
I hope we didn't lose him. That would be hilarious if we lost him right then.
Maybe
That
he's-
was the
maybe-
perfect time.
Maybe he's just in character and he
Contemplative as fuck.
You just staring at him, just staring at him, just like.
Ian's so in character tonight.
Oh, there he goes.
Oh,
There,
wait.
there he is.
Ian.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Here we go.
Yes. There we go.
God fucking damn it! I hate internet. I'm gonna say to Eddie. Listen, I didn't pay 7 measly credits for a tour in which we would be avoiding danger. You say that no one's ever survived this thing. Let's fucking change that, yeah? And
He looks to you with wide eyes, and he says, "Sure, man. I really didn't plan on dying today."
nobody ever does. Any other cowards want to join me? And I'm just gonna start running towards the back of the fucking bus.
God.
I'm
He
just
does not
gonna.
follow you.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna say, well, good luck. And I'm just gonna slap a mage armor on him.
He runs by.
I don't think it'll help.
Look, man, I can't help you past that. So
Nah, I am gonna throw the hammer though.
Okay.
And
That's
then
what we wanted to hear.
and then jump off the back of the bus.
Sure. Are you trying to land on top of the ant?
How close is it at this point?
It's 60 feet away.
That's what
so
I
you-
thought. Yeah.
So you could probably land on it if you rolled high enough.
Okay. I mean, with athlete, I do have pretty.
Oh yeah, you have
sweet
athlete. You could
jump
probably.
speed.
I mean, yeah, factoring in the movement of the bus.
Alright,
and the
yeah.
ant.
I would say the
Fuck
distance
it.
of the jump would not be in question, but you managing to grab onto the ant as you
Sure.
land on it would be it.
Athletics.
Yeah, I'd say probably athletics.
All right.
Yeah, you leap off and you reach for really anything, and you feel like you're about to miss as you go for its face, and it turns its head up and opens its mouth, kind of lifting up its mandibles that you were hoping to grab. But you do see that a third kind of tusk-like chitinous mandible sticks out from her jaw, and
Yeah,
you just
Jesus.
barely
Yeah.
manage to grab onto that. But you do feel some acid from her mouth kind of starting to drip onto your hand.
Wonderful.
Horrifying.
Very horrifying.
Right,
Yeah,
kind
we
of
were.
horrifying.
She is going to actually no. She'll go on the. she'll
You
go
all
on the
just
ants.
hear from him off and behind you, just this mad laughter, just pure joy, but from a Ganondorf-sized behemoth
Sure.
of a man.
Pliskin, the other video game reference, has leaped off of the bus. And seems to have grabbed hold of one of its mandibles, screaming in laughter. What would you like to do?
Yeah.
That's just idiotic. I'm just gonna put one foot over the bar and do
You
a
are
charge
not
a
wrong.
shot. Charge a shot. I'm gonna aim for the opposite eye.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make your attack roll.
Disadvantage. 19.
Ooh, Yeah, your shot lands directly in its eye, and it screeches and Rax flails around, holding onto this mandible as the giant reels, but it continues charging as it stumbles a little bit.
That's my turn.
Sure,
Just,
Sigvik.
look after this thing. Just like
You do see that the rocks, the boulders from the cliffs above you, they look like they're about to fall on top of her.
good. Keep it up.
Good.
I'm going to quickly turn to Caster and say, this is no longer like any simulation I've ever been in. Then I'm going to grab a gun from under the seat. Grab one of the guns from under the seats and like try and shoot at like the antennas of the ants to try and confuse it.
Sure. Yeah, make a ranged attack roll with disadvantage because you're aiming.
I don't have one set up, so
That's fine.
+3 to that.
Okay. Yeah. So you point the revolver, and at first it clicks as if it just misfires, and you kind of look at it funny, and you realize that the trigger is not fully connected, right? So you kind of like push it up and into the gun a little bit, and then you point again and you fire, and it hits the it does miss the antenna, but it does hit the queen like on the top of her head, and she kind of hisses and reels, and more yellow blood starts shooting out. And as she's reeling, the boulders from the cliff fall right down on top of her, and she sees them coming and tries to knock away with it. And fails, and they land directly on her back and just sort of crush her, and she scrambles and being under the weight of these giant boulders, she's like trying to get back up, trying to push up with her spindly legs, but she is definitely slowed down significantly. Louise calls out, and you guys look out ahead of you, and you see that there is an opening in the cliffs that seems to lead out into desert. And there is kind of similar to the rock slide, the roadblock that she encountered before. There's sort of like a stone archway that goes over that part of the road, and there are some various boulders and things sort of nestled on there. There.
He drops the barrier on the opening.
Oh shit!
Oh damn it!
Sticky
Forgot to turn
wicket.
on voice control. I think I'm just gonna fire my shotgun into its face.
Yeah, sure. It's definitely still close enough for you to hit.
Best not crit fail, son.
Oof.
Yeah, you you aim your shotgun, and it's flailing around. Seems to avoid the buckshot. But it continues to reel, and it kind of stands up a little bit more, and one of the boulders falls off of her back, and she seems to be gaining a little bit of speed.
Yeah, that's all I can do on my turn, so I'm just gonna start reloading.
Sure, back to Rydell.
Alright, so it probably hasn't been the full minute. I have one more magic stone in my hand. I'm gonna throw it.
Sure, go for it.
That's 13.
Yeah, that unfortunately misses. You toss the stone at it, and it's flailing around. It just knocks away the stone with its mandible, and you see the stone fly off and hit a cliffside and just leave a small crater in it.
Damn.
And she does start to pick up speed as another boulder falls off of her back.
Okay, so one of these infusions says the space that your spell occupies. Can that be like where you aim your spell if it's like a spell attack?
Yeah, like basically it would be the creature's spot basically.
Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna just like kind of be like, oh, I really won't hit him, and I'm gonna throw a chaos bolt at at the big queen.
Okay, go for it. Make your attack roll, I believe.
Yeah, it's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Don't worry about damage.
Yeah.
But yeah, you quickly fire the Chaos Bolt while it's reeling from hitting your stone with its mandible.
And I want to.
It screams out as it hits it in the neck.
And I want to infuse the Terra infusion, that Trail of Quakes. So in addition to each creature with that space must make a strength or dex save, cast my soul save DC, or be knocked prone.
Sure.
As little tremors.
She actually passes, unfortunately.
Damn. All right.
But she definitely does seem. She seems to be reeling from that hit. Eddie and the gang are still unhelpful. They are all kind of panicking at this point, and the Leonti couple are huddled in their seat, probably praying to whatever Leonti god they worship. The old man is. He has all these little devices out, kind of set up, tied to the back of the chair. He seems to be trying to get readings on things, and he's like furiously trying to scribble down notes. Caster. You're pretty close to the exit of these cliffs at this point. Probably about a couple 100 feet away.
I'm gonna point up to the the archway. Take it out.
Is he saying that to anybody in particular? Or?
No.
Okay, I figured. Yeah, I'm just gonna duck down, and I'm gonna rifle through Sigvik's pocket while they're focused on the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Wow.
And Sigvik make a perception check.
Wait, is sleight of hand not a thing?
Not now that you brought it up.
I mean,
I guess it could be, but I imagine he's trying to do it without alerting Sigvik.
Well, isn't that almost specifically what sleight of hand is for? To pickpocket.
Okay, yeah, you can go and make a sleight of hand check then.
do you want me to roll another check, or do I just keep this roll?
You can roll again.
Okay. Because it's the same.
It's the same. Okay, that's fine. That was my bad. Yeah. So you Sigvik, what was your perception? Yeah.
I don't think I'll beat an 18.
Okay. Oh! Wow.
I guess a natural 20, right?
Hey,
I feel like it should.
How on God's
I'm gonna
have a -2 to perception?
My wisdom is 7.
How do you have a fucking 7?
Oh my god!
Because you rolled for stats.
Damn.
Oh my god.
That was an option.
I mean, sure. Admittedly, I didn't really think about it, but.
Nah, I'm just kidding. It's all good.
That's hilarious.
Normally skill checks don't crit, but I'm going to say in this instance that probably breaks the tie. So, Sigvik, as you're sort of clicking back the hammer on your little crappy revolver, you feel a little movement in your pack, and you turn to look, and you see your good friend Caster Leroux rifling through your stuff. He just barely pulls back his hand as you look.
Caster, what are you doing?
I'm looking for any provisions that might be able to help in this specific circumstance. I'm a little tapped at the moment.
So you thought you checked my pockets?
Persuasion? I don't know.
Perception check.
Hey, I'm pretty good at deception.
My character's just laughing.
No kidding.
No, we'll let it play out RP wise. See what happens here.
Well, you see, I'm a little light on, helpful items.
So you think my money will help you?
Who said I was looking for money?
That's all I have in there.
Really?
That's all I have in there.
He has like a backpack and there's just one credit chip in it.
This is actual physical gold just overflowing.
Oh, jeez. Well, I must apologize. That's my turn. I can't do anything after that.
I have that.
As that little fun interaction comes to a close, we cut to Raz, who is dangling by one arm on this flailing ant.
I'm straight.
What would you like to do?
Is there any point while she's trying to like shake off the rocks and stuff that I might be able to like land on her body?
Hit her other eye.
Yeah, I'll say you can make an athletics check to try to like swing up onto her.
Just because my weapon is two-handed and I will never be able to attack if I'm hanging on the whole time.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you can definitely make an athletics check.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
Yeah, so you use the momentum of her flailing her head, sort of trying to wiggle her way out of these boulders that are still on top of her, and use the momentum to swing up on top of her head. And I'll say you still have like a bonus action left, so you wouldn't be able to attack her, but
I don't have anything that I can do with
okay.
bonus action.
So you get a good hold on her like the carapace on top of her head. You are definitely covered in yellow blood at this point.
Excellent. Just what
Pliskin.
I was hoping for.
The archway and the exit to the desert grows ever closer.
I mean, would I be able to math it out?
Yeah, like you want to. Yeah, I'll say you can
time to hit them and not us, because I do have high end.
Yeah, you're good. You can time it.
All right,
as long as your shot hits.
I mean, I'll go for that.
Sure.
I'll do a charge shot on it. So.
Okay. A little extra power.
Yeah. Just regular, not aimed.
Yeah, just make an attack with the rifle.
22.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, you carefully aim your shot and you wait a few moments for the right timing, and you fire a shot at what you identify as a weak spot in the stone, and your energon blast shoots out and cracks into the stone, and it starts to crumble and collapse.
I'll look for it. Go, go, go!
Yeah, Louise continues to move this bust as fast as it physically can. Sigvik. You are approaching this exit. The shot hit the stone, and the Ant Queen is gaining.
First, I would talk at Caster some more.
Hey, this should heat up your action.
Priorities, right?
The entirety of the action economy.
You know, Caster, I really expected more from you.
Disappointed to kill.
I'm not mad, just disappointed.
That's a meme right there.
Disappointed!
What makes you think that's okay?
Well, technically speaking, we're in the Ember Nation, so there's nothing against the law. Possession is not against
the law.
Second of all,
In the Ember Nation.
Second of all, I'm wearing a literal black hat. So, if anything, the fault lies with you.
He's not wrong.
Nothing's illegal here.
There's plenty illegal here.
You can
nothing.
Why don't you try and
theft.
slow down that ant then? I'm gonna try and shove him off the bus.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
This is so
contested
great.
athletics, I guess.
All right, here we go.
Athletics, you said?
Yeah, athletics for both of you.
Athletics design.
Oh, yeah, Caster. Sigvik says that. He says, he says, why don't you go do something about that? And he just lurches forward and grabs you by the shoulders and just flings you off of the back of the bus. Go ahead and make either athletics or an acrobatics to try to land on the ant if you would like to.
Can I make an athletics to try and avoid the ant?
Okay, sure. Yeah,
I'm not a crazy person.
sure.
Oops, sorry. I
Roll the same thing twice. So you're basically just trying to hit the ground and avoid the ant, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you get thrown off the bus and you manage to tuck into the air just good enough to be able to avoid the charging Ant Queen Acronax, and you sort of spill out. You do take a little bit of fall damage. You take 9 fall damage as you hit the dusty, or actually more of a stony ground, and roll a few times as the ant charges past you.
Yeah.
I thought you were my friend.
You were the chosen one. I have the high ground.
How do you feel about sand?
Don't do it.
Now that you're in the sand?
Caster.
It's coarse. It's
Of
everywhere.
course.
Stop!
It's everywhere. Everywhere.
Yeah, the Ant Queen.
Somebody push Weston off the bus.
The Ant Queen charges forward and actually manages to get close enough to pierce the back of the bus with one of her mandibles, and the bus kind of lifts up a little bit as it starts to slow down.
Zach, I'm literally standing on the make it.
Yeah.
And 1 foot on the guardrail.
Yep. She pierces through the back of the bus. You're good. You managed to maintain your footing. She seems to be trying to drag this thing, or at least slow it down. Sticky Wicket. You look up, or you see this at the back of the bus, and then you look up and you see that the stone that the energy blast hit has crumbled some more, crumbled a little bit more, and then stopped.
I don't know if I actually have anything that could loosen those rocks.
I mean, there's a bunch of hand cannons on this bus.
It's true.
Yeah.
There is also
fire my shotgun. Then, if we think just a regular gun's going to be able to do it,
you're firing up at the stone.
yeah, just
Sure.
try to loosen it more on it.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh god!
Oh yeah. You
Look, I really just punch things. Okay.
you fire your shotgun, but the buckshot sort of gently caresses the stone as it misses all the weak points, and you're
Makes
kind of
some really
sitting.
pretty striations in it,
Yep.
you know.
You're standing there, or like sitting there at the bus, kind of just like, damn, I can't believe I missed that. And then all of a sudden, there's a loud bang as a bullet rings out from the top of the bus and hits that weak point exactly. The entire thing starts crumbling. And you whip your head around, and you see the Nemetic cowboy whirl his hand cannon around his finger and load it back into the holster.
Show
and
off.
He takes a couple steps up next to you and puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, he has kind of a mechanical reverb to his voice, but it's very deep and gruff, and he says, "Next time."
Yeah, my character's just going to be like,
Show off.
And he starts walking towards the back of the bus. As we cut to Rydell.
I mean,
you are like about to go underneath this stone archway, and
Okay.
the archway is clearly about to collapse.
okay. Well, I will try to make it. I'm with the intention of trying to release the bus so we can get the fuck out of the way. I'm gonna cast pyrotechnics with fireworks, and I'm gonna look at the guy and I'm gonna say, "Now you stay right here," and I'm gonna go pew pew. I'm gonna finger guns directly at in front of his face, and use the fireworks one to try and he makes a con save or is blinded until my next turn.
Too soon, James. Too soon.
Yeah, I know. I did it on purpose, maybe.
What's
You're
your
a monster.
DC?
No one will.
My DC is 14.
The Ant Queen actually fails.
Solid. It's blind
Yes.
until my next turn.
Yeah, fireworks shoot out into its face, and it screeches, and in reeling its head back, it actually it tears the back panel away from the bus with its still kind of attached to its mandible as it rips it off and screeches, and the bus picks up a little bit more speed, and you guys sort of look behind you as this archway of stone falls directly onto the Ant Queen. And Rax.
What part of the Ant Queen?
All of the Ant Queen.
Oh.
I need you to make a... Well, how would you like to react to this?
Athletically?
Do you want to try to leap off of the ant to safety?
If possible, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make an athletics check.
I mean, I'll reach my hand out. If that gives anything.
Yeah, you were definitely close enough that if you roll high enough, you could get...
I'm going to re-roll with luck.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a 9 over 4.
Yeah, so you see the rocks falling and you get ready to leap out, and the ant's head tilts just good enough for you to leap off and grab onto Pliskin's hand as Pliskin kind of grunts as this giant man lands on
his absolute arm. Unit.
Yes, this
that was stupid.
Yes,
and incredibly brave.
Yeah, so the
brave.
The stones collapse.
Sure was stupid.
The stones collapse on top of the ant and bring it down with a screech as it struggles, and does not necessarily seem to be dying, but it seems to be sufficiently crushed. We can eschew the turn order for now, as you guys are mostly safe. Caster.
Yeah.
You see the stone archway collapse on top of the... blocking the path out. What would you like to do?
Bus is still going, right?
The bus is definitely still going for a little bit, but it will actually slow down a little bit as sort of Eddie gets up and looks and says something along the lines of, we're safe for now, except there seems to be one missing. And we'll cut to Caster.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink a greater healing potion.
Drink a med kit?
No, I'm gonna drink a greater healing
potion. A greater healing potion? Wow, okay. Yeah. You chug the potion and feel much better. Not about the situation, but about your injuries.
Well, I'm gonna start. How high is the rubble?
It's probably only like 20 to 25 feet.
Yeah, I'll Misty Step.
Sure, you want to Misty Step on top of the stones?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you Misty Step up there. It's a little shaky because the Ant Queen is still trying to struggle underneath the boulders, but you see the bus slowing down a little bit as you see Eddie on top of the bus waving both of his arms at you. And the rest of you would see Caster standing on top of the stone.
Before I see
about 80 feet away at this point.
Before I see any of that, I'll walk over to Sigvig and slide a hand, try and cuff him as fast as I can.
Oh, jeez, okay. Yeah, go for a sleight of hand. Sigvig, you can make... Okay. Sigvig, you can make a...
you can lucky that.
I guess a dex save? Yeah. So you see Pliskin go towards you with a couple cuffs, but you manage to step back just in time to avoid it.
You're under arrest for attempted murder.
Clearly, he had a misguided venture to try and take out that ant. You saw him jump off the back.
I saw you push him. I was there the whole time.
I don't know what you were looking at.
You trying to do deception? Like I saw it happen.
I'm not trying to deceive you. That's just what he's saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I saw it happen. I saw you. I saw him try and steal, and I saw you try and... We don't solve things with murder here.
Are you guys watching how exciting his be? I'm like at the back of the bus, like.
Yeah, the old Gaian man is there with you. He's kind of like he's got his hand kind of uncomfortably touching your upper arm, as he seems equally excited at this little scenario.
See, when you put all your little sciencey doodads away, you get some real action.
You're right. Observation is incredible.
I'm gonna say to Pliskin.
Yeah.
It seems to me we just solved a pretty big problem with the murder.
Eddie will actually step forward with both of his hands up, and he'll say, "Whoa now! I didn't know we had an officer on board. Let's how about we get our friend here back on the bus, and we head on back to New Novos and talk this out. You guys can do all your law stuff, whatever you need. I'll give you refunds on the tickets, no problem. And yeah, let's just save it for when we get back to the station. Yeah."
I'll
Yeah, you heard the guy.
look at him. I'll look at him, and I'll look to Sigvig, and I'll touch my ear, and a very feminine voice.
Boys.
They're all idiots. They're not terrorists. And she'll just turn into a what was it called? God damn it! I can't think of the race now.
Pretty sure I know what it is, but I'm gonna double check before I say anything.
I got it.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. You'll just hear a feminine voice. They're just idiots, not terrorists. And a green slime woman, Novian, will just take the spot of Pliskin.
Wow. We've been bamboozled, boys.
We've been given the old razzle dazzle.
It was based off of an old movie she saw, and a video game she liked.
That's hilarious.
By Hideo Kojima himself.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this is Jury, by the way. Like this. Jury.
Yeah, Louise will actually turn the bus around and start driving back, despite Eddie's concerns. And she will. She slowly approaches the twitching ant queen underneath this stone as she calls out to Castor, waving him over. Do you want to hop down and head back towards the bus?
Yeah.
Okay.
With a smile on my face.
Sure. So you deftly jump down some conveniently placed stones and start hoofing it back towards the bus. And she meets you halfway, and you clamber on. And she puts a hand to her chest, and she says, "My goodness, didn't think I'd ever lose someone on this tour, being that it's a tour."
You haven't lost me yet.
She kind of punches your arm. It does hurt a little bit. She's pretty brawny. She punches your arm and she says, "Now get up there. Let's get the hell out of here."
I shall acquiesce.
Sure. The rest of you see Castor go up the little spiral steps onto the top deck of the bus and join you guys as he dusts off the brim of his hat and kind of rotates his shoulder cuffs a little bit.
I don't want to do the paperwork, so neither one of you get into any more trouble, or else the federal government of Nouveau will come down on you. Harder than...
I'm going to ignore him and then just talk to Castor.
Well, her.
Her, yeah. It's
And she's going to go back out her phone and just ignore everyone. Or onto her personal
Castor,
computer.
that was incredibly foolish. Consider us even.
fair enough.
Hey, what was your name again? To, Pliskin? God damn it.
She's just gonna be on her phone. Oh, look, Jury.
What's the punishment for brawling? Things of that sort.
That's below my pay grade.
Perfect.
It definitely
I'm sure we
is.
won't have any troubles.
Good.
As these conversations are happening, Luis has wheeled the bus around and is driving back towards the road, the dusty road, dust bucket road, as we call it. Yeah, things are much quieter as she gets back onto the road. Eddie is going around and making sure everyone's okay. He has like a really, really basic first aid kit that's essentially like a half-used roll of Band-Aids and like a little bit of like a pain reliever gel. But it looks like this first aid kit is definitely not up to code. And but he'll go around and patch people up and make sure they're okay. And yeah, you drive you go down this road for another half hour or so, and all of a sudden the female Leonti kind of perks up, and you see her pointing out in the direction the bus is going, and she says, "Excuse me, Mr. Eddie, what is that tower over there?" And you all look in the direction the bus is going, and you see miles off into the distance, directly ahead of you, there is this this kind of beige-ish tower. It's sort of off kilter a little bit, and it's hard to see because of like the heat and all the sand blowing. But Eddie goes up to the front of the bus and he takes off his hat and he wipes a extremely large amount of sweat off of his brow and puts his hat back on, and he strains his eyes and kind of looks out and he says, well, ain't that something? In all the years I've been doing this tour, I can't say I've ever seen that before. The woman looks to the Leonti man. They both just kind of shrug and continue sitting patiently. And another 10 or 15 minutes pass, and the tower seems to be closer now, although looking at it, you still can't quite discern a whole lot of details. Looks like it's made out of stone, but you're not quite sure. And Eddie, who's been staring at it this whole time, turns back to you guys. And he kind of looks at you, and he starts grinding his teeth. And he says, do y'all folks feel that? Like that, kind of like that weird feeling you get from chewing on tinfoil. Any of you feel that?
I think you've been drinking too much of the ant juice. As I'm like studying it, I have like the jar out and I'm like looking at it.
Do I know what that spire is?
No, you are not familiar with any kind of tower in this region. And as you kind of
recognize the sensation he's talking about,
you don't, but you all do feel it, and his description is surprisingly accurate. It's this weird tingly feeling that seems to kind of crackle through your entire head.
Am I affected by it any more than the others with psionic abilities or anything?
It seems to be a little more focused in your head, whereas for everyone else it's kind of focused in their mouth, but you wouldn't necessarily know that apart from Eddie grinding.
Yeah.
But you definitely feel it throughout your whole head.
Look up for my personal. I don't know what that is. And it does. I'm just gonna buy it after that.
At this point, the Nemetic cowboy will walk up next to you, Jury, and with a cold metal hand, he will actually lightly touch your chin and sort of push your face downward. And he'll say, he'll kind of look at you as he's doing that, and he'll say, "Better avert your eyes." And he'll walk up next to Eddie, and he'll just kind of, much more forcefully than he did with Jury, he'll like grab the side of Eddie's head and just like tilt it away from the direction of the tower. And looking down as well, he says, "Don't look at it anymore." And then he leans over the front of the bus, and it calls down to Louise, and he says, "Turn towards the city. Don't drive any closer." And he looks back up, and Eddie, clearly not paying attention, Eddie turns his head back, only to meet the stranger's hand again as he pushes his face away, and with his cheek kind of smushed, he says, "Now, what's this all about, stranger? Do you know what that thing is?" And the Nemetic looks at him and says, he actually grabs his collar and brings him closer, and he says, "Don't look at it." And Eddie just kind of very nervously, wide-eyed, nods his head and tries to avert his gaze as much as possible. And the Nemetic will look back at all of you and say, "That goes for all of you as well."
I rolled insight on him in this conversation. I got a 14 on the Nemetic. Does he seem like worried, or does he seem like he knows what this is and is like, just like, don't look at it, it's fine?
It's a little bit of both. He does seem like he's a little bit concerned. You've definitely not seen him move this. You've definitely not seen him with this kind of stride before. He does seem to be a little concerned, and he seems very adamant about making sure people are not looking in that direction. Louise has actually started to turn the bus towards the city, and you're kind of wondering, like, she's actually gone off the road a little bit, and is going back on the road towards the city, and you kind of wonder, like, why were we even going that way?
I'm going to close my eyes.
Sure. Yeah, you close your eyes and, just sort of listen to this happen.
You know, stranger, I love this. I love the feeling of adrenaline pumping through my system. But is this too much? Is whatever this is just too much? And I'm like kind of like averting my eyes, but like still looking at the stranger, like trying not to look at the thing.
He looks to you and he nods and he says, "You'll find no adrenaline rush there, only death."
We almost found death back there. What makes us different?
That back there was an untimely demise. In that tower lies death. And he says it kind of grimly.
I've done enough cargo runs to know not to look inside a box.
That's good.
Inspiration.
Tip my hat down and sit in my seat.
Zed is rolling on his bed because he's alive.
Topical for a Wednesday night.
Yeah,
Zed's
Zed's rolling around in his bed.
The
Has
bus
Zed even
continues.
been born yet?
You're not sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what time this is.
The bus continues down the road towards New Novos, and you can see that everyone is kind of trying to avert their eyes as much as possible. Eddie keeps looking, and the stranger keeps slapping his face back away from it.
I don't know who this is, but you should probably listen to him. Eddie.
Eddie kind of looks at you nervously, and he says, well, he actually doesn't say anything. He just kind of tries to stammer out a word and nods his head, and he tries to focus on like his pack in the seat in front of him. And after another 20 minutes or so, you pull into a little outpost station outside of New Novos, not unlike the one that you traveled to get onto this tour bus. Although this one you would know is on the other side of the city, is the one you left for the tour on. And Eddie will kind of shakily thank you all for taking the tour, and he apologizes that you all almost died, and once again will offer to refund the cost of your tickets. as each of you step off the bus, and everyone's just sort of kind of lingering around the one side of the bus, and Eddie is currently attending to the two Leonti who do in fact want a refund for their ticket.
I'll tell him. Nah, you keep it. You earned every credit. I had my doubts about this vacation thing, but it's not so bad.
He takes his hat off and wipes a copious amount of sweat off his brow once again, and puts his hat back on, and he kind of looks at you and he says, "Glad to have you aboard. If you ever want to take a tour again, it'll probably be in a few months as we figure out a different route through the cliffs."
As Sticky Wicket gets off of the bus, he's gonna look at the watch on one of his hands. He's gonna say, "Waste of a lunch break." And he's just gonna walk away.
And Sticky Wicket lumbers away.
Eddie, I'm
go
not
ahead.
going to push you. However, you need to step up your provisions, yeah?
You're saying that to Eddie?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not even looking at him, I'm just on
Sure. Yeah, he nods a few times, stammers out an answer, and he says, I promise we'll get this tour up to speed. Apologize for any, what's the word, inconvenience.
Eddie, I am
Louise behind him just shakes her head.
Eddie, I'm counterterrorism. It was a joke. I could care less.
He stammers out a very unsure laugh, and he just glances back to Louise, who's she's wiping grease off a wrench with a rag, and she looks absolutely done with this entire situation.
I will give her my card.
Sure, yeah, she'll take it.
Anytime you want to join the feds.
She'll say, I might just take you up on that.
So funny.
She'll just nod and walk away, hidden her personal computer.
As you walk away, a very well-dressed man, a well-dressed Novian man, probably in his maybe like mid-30s, actually walks past you and tips his hat. And the rest of you would see this man walk towards Louise, and they have a private conversation towards the front of the bus. And she kind of looks a little flustered, and she goes back into the bus and grabs her bag and puts all of her things into it. And the two of them actually leave the area, and she is just sort of looking up at him, smiling. And the Nemetic, who's kind of been just sort of watching all of this, walks over to Castor and tips his hat, and he holds a cold metal hand out to you as if he wants to give you something.
Yeah, I'll extend my hand.
Yeah, you extend your palm, and he hovers his hand just above yours and drops an object into it and pulls his hand back. And as you look, you see a single jet black bullet in your hand. And he stares directly into your eyes, and he says, with a hand, he gestures back towards where you knew that the tower is, and he says, "Don't even think about going. But if you do, you'll need that." And he tips his hat once again and strides off as his belts clink.
I'll put it in one of the bandolier slots.
Sure.
I got an 18 on a perception check. Did I hear that? Did I hear that in that conversation?
You probably heard bits and pieces of it. You didn't see the object that was put in the caster's hand, but You heard something about not going and needing this.
Yeah. I'm gonna like almost creepily like slide up to Castor and say, "Are you gonna go check out that tower?"
Not this time around. Maybe when I come back. I have some business on Emeritus.
Say, cool. Hey, listen, I'm trying to get a new group together. Like what used to be known as Rydell's Rambunctious Riders, and we used to go looking for fun. And I think you would be perfect for this team. Now all my other riders left for other reasons, but that's why I came on this journey, to find people that love danger as much as I do.
Rydell. Well, I do like myself some adventure from time to time.
As you
I'll
say
give you
that,
my-
Castor.
Yeah.
As you say that, your eye kind of casually goes back towards the tower, and you see that it is not there. When you know it wasn't that far away.
Well, now. Here's my details. If you ever need me, well, I'm only a stone's throw away.
I'll like pull a stone out and be like, a lot of things are only a stone's throw away. So I appreciate that.
As for you, Sigvik, it seems I owe you an apology. Allow me to offer you some more. You ever find yourself in trouble with a person called the Shadow Broken? Tell him you're a friend of Castor LaRue. He probably won't kill you. I'll start walking off into the city.
Well, that's good to know. Oh, hey, Castor. You want to get a drink?
Hell, I can't turn down a good whiskey.
And the two of them walk off towards a nearby saloon, and the heat from the sun continues to blare down on the city of New Novos as all of you sort of think about what your next move is. And that's where we'll end.
Wow. Good shit, Shane.
Phenomenal
Good shit.
session.
Yeah, dude, that was sick.
A little less interactive than I think my sessions would ideally be, but
You told such
was
a
fun.
wonderful story.
Yeah.